Yeah, it's not sweat, it's water. I just washed my face because it is so hot here. There were 40 degrees Celsius here. It's insane. 41 technically. Alrighty. It's not much better, but it's something. So today is gonna be a little bit of a different stream. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk about the penis. We're gonna talk about the boobies. We're gonna talk about it. I sold $180 worth of stuff. What the fuck did I sell? Oh, okay, that's good. That's like 30 bucks worth of stonks. I don't mind. We are going to talk about a drama that I know I'm not personally involved, but I'm personally interested on. So we're gonna go on X. Let's see if I can find it first. Let me add. There we go. Found it. All right, all right. Posts. Let's see if I can find this one. Blog. There we go. There we go. Found it. So, to give a little bit of context, Homestuck just got a new version. A resurgence, because I'm not gonna put the video, but I'm gonna set everything up so we have everything cool. Let's say Homestuck. Let's put it down. Homestuck the animated trailer. There we go. Now I don't care about the thing. Let me just let's just put this one like this. No, I don't want it to go. I don't want to get copyright claimed because they don't deserve anything. We're only gonna talk about the recent stuff because it's a long read. It's a very long read. Let me just put like this. Yes, there we go. So yeah, VZ Pub did a Homestuck animated pilot. VZ herself is not involved in it. VZ Pub herself. It's just the animation studio. Spindleroo. And yes, Toby Fox is in the story. Toby Fox is the voice actor of John. Where is John? There we go. There you are, John. And yeah, technically it is a reprise. Like, I have no mouth and I must, yeah, said. Yeah, as you can. Oh no, it's SJH Soccer. Economic recession, new Lady Gaga album, Homestuck is relevant. Welcome back, 2009. Yeah, but Homestuck, it's very relevant to me, mainly because of this little goober, Dave Strider, character that I love so much so that I made multiple, not Homestuck, multiple cosplays as. And hey, look at the glasses. You notice something? Yeah, it's the same glasses. I'm in love with the character. I love Dave. But yeah. Basically, everything. This hit me like a fucking truck. As I said multiple times, this is gonna hit Tumblr like crack hit the poor neighborhoods in the 80s. It's gonna be wild. It is gonna be wild. The problem, though, is that Homestuck as the IP itself is a shit show. Because of two things. The IP holder, which is Andrew Hussie. No, not Andrew Hussie. Like, it was a Vids Media for a time, and then someone else. What Pumpkin, mainly. But we don't talk about that. We're not gonna talk about the Sarah Z controversy, which for controversy is she just openly criticized the comic and she got a cease and desist letter. But we're gonna be able to see a little bit of it through the whole thing that we're gonna read. This one. It is a long read, fellas. It is a long read. I read up to here, and it is a long read. And ironically enough, by being a Homestuck fan, it's not even that bad. But yeah, we're gonna read through this, and there's gonna be a reference to the Sarah Z, a whole shit show, because sadly it was a shit show. But mainly we're gonna talk about Andrew Hussie themselves. So, for some context, Jovan H, was the co-creator of the Homestuck unofficial collection. Let me go and put it up. Sadly, as you can see, it was originally developed by Bambush and Jovan H. And sadly, is dead. It's dead. A new official Homestuck collection is now in development, and the original, this is old stuff. This is very old stuff. This is the issue that we're gonna go through. Unless this is new. But basically, for the longest time, this was the way to read the comic. Why? Because the Homestuck side fucking sucks. So much so, let's just go Homestuck. No, just go Homestuck without the thing. If we go to the Homestuck collection, I do not consent. Everything's broken. Like, read the Homestuck, I guess. Thing is dead. 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 It's just, you did not save the game. Let's just go to page like 275. Oh no, 275. Also, Celestial Memer, thank you for the follow. Prototype is provided with Betty Crocker box. Everything's dead. Like, you cannot read this comic. Maybe it's loading. Maybe we're gonna be able to see something. Let's see. I don't think so. Nope. No. Nothing loads. It doesn't load. So, Homestuck at Vispedia, as you can see, from 2018. Since the comic was unavailable to be read thanks to Flash shutting down, the server being dog shit, I guess, and just Hussie being Hussie, Bambosh tried to make an official version to read the comic. And Jovan H joined soon afterwards, which is stuff that we're gonna read here. After a while, Hussie themselves put the unofficial Homestuck collection, since Hussie already was giving the reign to other people. Hussie didn't want to talk about Homestuck anymore. We're not gonna talk about Homestuck Squared unless this brings it up. But yeah, the Hussie themselves put the link to the unofficial Homestuck collection, which I'm gonna call the collection from now on for simplicity's sake, on their website, basically. The link IO, like he has here. This dude has, like, this dude. Like you put the links. I don't know how to do the thing is this. You get it. I put the unofficial Homestuck collection, the collection, which was all nice and dandy. But a couple of days ago, Hussie themselves pushed to remove the site, remove everything that they could. Why? Because Hussie is a control freak. I'd say allegedly, but this is not the first time that this has happened. We've seen it with the Kickstarter of $2.5 million that was in 2015. Let's check. Homestuck Kickstarter. I should have checked the Hive swap. Well, was it made? The campaign. In 2012? Yeah, from September to October 2012. 13 years have passed. And so far, we've gotten Act 1 and Act 2. November 2020. Act 1, which I'm gonna call it. Act 1 was 2 hours of gameplay. Put 3. 4. A point-and-click adventure game of 4 hours at the best of gameplay. Act 2? I don't know, I haven't played it. Let's check, Act 2. Doesn't look like there's much. Oh, some characters, but that's about it. So yeah, 13 years for 2X. That honestly, Deltarune alone, just Act 1 alone just weeps. I'm just gonna be straight up. I'm sorry. And Tommy Fox was working for Hussie. So, yeah. Again, the Sarah Z whole thing and other smaller stuff that I personally don't remember, sadly. I don't remember. Let me try to move the microphone. If I put it here, I'm not gonna be able to read. Are you guys gonna be able to listen to me if I put it here? Seems like it. Yeah, let's try to keep it like this. And again, this was just yet another proof that Hussie just wants total control over the webcomic. Which is funny, because in Homestuck Squared, there's a character that literally wants to take control over the narrative and will do anything to get to take control over the webcomic. Like the actual webcomic, like the narrative, become the writer themselves. So the irony is not lost on me. But alas, let's just read this one, because it's, as I said, it's gonna be a long read. It's gonna be a slow burn, and it's gonna take a while. Thankfully, I don't have to go to work tomorrow. Qualified. Everything in this reporting is either my opinion, based on the fact as I know them, or a statement of fact which I believe to be true based evidence known to me at the time of writing. Alright. So, allegedly. Let's just put that one. Allegedly. I don't think, oh, high surprise. I don't think Hussie can be allegedly called a control freak, but, let's just put all the Homestuck thing. $2.5 $485 million, and we got 2x in. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? We had it. I had it earlier. It was 2012. I remember that much. And latest update is 2021. And let's check the update. I want to check. Original soundtrack update and a hype swap. What a load of baloney. Anyway, let's go. I don't think we shut up. Bottom line up front. Since November 2023, the unofficial Homestuck collection has been entangled in legal discussion with Homestuck and Andrew Hussie. This has gone disastrously bad from almost the very beginning. Since Andrew has sent us DMCA takedown demand and also persistently threatened us with spurious lawsuits, I am taking down the unofficial Homestuck collection web presence at Homestuck's demand. The current set of legal demands does not affect the GitHub repository itself, so releases of the reader are still available. An outdated copy of the reader and some assets are currently also available from a copy Homestuck made of the collection against our wishes. More of this later. However, the original team behind the collection, including both Ben Bosch and Joe, has been forced to stop maintenance on our work. This was not driven by copyright concern, community relation, or any healthy professionalism, but an unprofessional spite and demand for control on the part of Andrew Hussie. I mean, you didn't join yesterday, buddy. It's not my fault. Or the day out before that. I don't remember which. I'm sorry. I gotta start from scratch. But hey, that's half of the fun, isn't it? I think it is. Don't worry about it, buddy. You'll get back to 200 in no time. Wholesale takeover. In November 2023, Homestuck sent me and Ben Bosch, co-creators of the UHC, which I'm gonna call the collection from now on for simplicity's sake, an offer to collaborate on the collection. We initially engaged with this offer because it came with a commitment to respect the project's independence and for the collaboration to be fully insulated from previous personal grievances. But this pretense of constructive collaboration turned out to be false almost immediately. For the entire period of time since the first communication, now multiple years, Homestuck has used threat, lies, legal shakedowns, and other psychological pressure tactics to attempt to seize control of the collection and in a hostile takeover. There was never a legal basis from Homestuck to control the unofficial collection, and so they have been attempting to use extra legal tactics to do so. Hi Tel, your stream wasn't working yesterday. I'm sorry to hear that, but I hope that this one works today. I checked, and it seems like it was working, but let's give it a little check. Unscripted frame-by-frame analysis of Homestuck animated. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna watch that. I will watch that. Let me see if the stream yesterday was working. Also because I cannot monetize it. Not that I really can monetize those videos. Yeah, it was working. What the fuck is going on here? Everything is working. A cat on the beat. Yeah. I'm not gonna stall. I had a problema. I'm sorry, but hey, now you can read a lot of drama that unfolded a couple of days ago. Hubble un problema, signore. It's gonna be a fun read. Not a fun read as in, haha, oh, so funny. But a fun read as in, Jesus Christ, this shit sucks. I don't want to support the creator. Anyway. While their trivial impact is unfortunate, the main complaint here is not that we were entitled to distribute Homestuck, and it's wrong that we had to stop. We have no particular legal right to reproduce or distribute the copyrighted Homestuck material, and so did not feel entitled to continue doing it. The fact that executing the takedown demands we've received results in Homestuck being inaccessible is a side effect of a deeper problem. Again, we're talking about a site that was letting people read a webcomic that Hussie themselves is making money from. Hussie themselves are not fixing the webcomic. See? It's not readable. There should be stuff here. There should be stuff. But I'm sure if you go to the shop, even the shop doesn't work. Even the shop doesn't work. Even the games don't work. Nothing works. So again, we're talking about the only way to read the webcomic. A webcomic that, should I remind you, was so big that mainstream media has references on. Bluey has reference about Homestuck. Steven Universe has reference on Homestuck. The FNAF movie has reference on Homestuck. And this is to name a few. Fucking Resident Evil 4, the remake, has Homestuck references in it. You know why? Because canaiophobia is an actual word created by Homestuck fans to describe the fear of chainsaws. I could go on. I mean, also Has-Been Hotel has it. Just so you guys know, there are references behind of Homestuck in the pilot Has-Been Hotel. So we're not talking about something that it's not that big. This webcomic crashed 3 sites when Cascade came out. 3. The Homestuck site, the Newground site, and the mega upload link of the Flash. 3 sites. Not even Ultra Instinct Goku managed to do that. So, yeah. We're talking about a very big thing. And the fact that Hussie pushed this easy way to read their work too is just asinine. Especially because I could understand. I want people to read from my side. I want people to read from my place. But nothing works. Let's see, the wallpaper, they don't work. Paradox Space, a side story, it don't work. But you get the point. You get the point. Let's just go forward. Fact, the problem is that the way Andrew acted is completely unacceptable. They demanded control over work that was not theirs, demanded we denounce their personal enemies, demanded we recant previous criticism, and more. This was all done under a pretense of constructive collaboration with the community that turned out to be false from the beginning. Ultimately, Andrew has demanded, in violation of their own assurances, that we denounce previous criticism of Homestuck management and give full managerial control over the independent collection project over to Andrew and their chosen delegates. So basically, it's like, yeah, take everything that we worked on here for free too, probably. I don't know for free. We don't know. I'm just guessing. But yeah. Under this extortion, we would be required to participate in Andrew's attempt to sweep their past professional misconduct under the rug, and we would remain subordinate to any other demands they made to use the project to attempt to control the fan community. Which, can I just be honest? Don't control the community. The only thing you need to take care of is no predators, no actively damaging members of the community. Everything else, just let them do whatever the fuck they want. I'm not kidding. Just let them. They want to do the cringy ass screaming, screaming John. It goes for 2 hours. Let them. They want to do a new version of your work. Let them. Let the community do their fan works. It's just gonna be a win-win. It really is. But anyway, we have not allowed this hostile takeover to happen to the Homestuck, unofficial Homestuck collection, since Andrew has fully committed to hostility towards us and fan projects in general, and demanded things we cannot give them. I'm choosing to disengage rather than face a perpetual series of baseless legal attacks and other harassments. Reluctance. My worst fear is that by explaining this, I might appear at all eager to stir up trouble. I'm not a rebel rouser, and I do not enjoy conflict. Even now, I'm focusing on capturing the important parts, which means leaving out juicy gossip, which is exciting but not load-bearing. See, you're a better person than I am. I would just go and just release everything. Be like, you know what? Fuck it. Here's everything. Everything. All I have, this is on a doc. This is on a mega upload. This is everything. I'm gonna talk about the stuff that I care about, but this is the whole thing. So you can see everything. Why? Because I'm an asshole. I'm a petty bitch. I like people in the content industry. Hey, look, I know. I knew this going in. I'm doing it because I really care about this. Gone stream, so what the hell is all this? We're talking about Hussie's takeover of the the unofficial Homestuck collection. It's a very big thing because, as I said at the start of the stream, Homestuck just got a animated pilot released by Visipop with Toby Fox reprising his role of John Egbert, and with my favorite boy Dave Strider. Like, my favorite boy. He's my favorite boy, and he always will be. And if you do anything, I will kill you. And we're reading why this whole thing happened. And why Andrew Hussie is a little bit of an asshole. And for a little bit, I mean, as big as the sun. Anyway. Unlike people in the content industry, for me, controversy is not revenue. Yeah, it's not revenue for me either. Do you see how much I stream? I stream 2 hours a day. You know how many viewers I have? Less than my average hourly stream. Average stream time. Whatever, I ruined the joke. So don't worry about it. I wouldn't be able to just work on the drama industry, honestly. I just gotta go on a little bit of a tangent. Just going for drama day in and day out, 24/7. Sounds so fucking exhausting. It actively costs me money when people read my work. I am exiting this affair with many fewer thousands of dollars and a fun new set of stress-related health issues. If I'm a cloud chaser, I'm the worst to ever do it. Is there a way to, help you out with this? Might be able to give you a little bit of help. Very tiny bit, but hey, maybe every little help helps. The archive work, the collection, and everything else I've done surrounding Homestuck has only been motivated by a care for the work and the people in its community. I would still care for Andrew too, had they not been the absolute worst. If I could snap my fingers and get whatever I wanted, I would have not have another exciting and scandalous story to tell. I would be happily maintaining a resource that people have found up valuable. I can imagine nothing I'd rather do. Honestly, fucking based. Based beyond belief. Honestly. This is the people that do the work to preserve media and then they also get bashed for it. Like if I remember correctly, there is no way to legally watch uh Courage the Cowardly Dog. And what are we supposed to do? Just forget it ever existed? No, that's not fair. Anyway, but the unofficial Homestuck collection is a community project. And project maintainer is a leadership position that comes with responsibilities. When people are harmed, they're entitled to clear and honest communication about what happened, which, in this case, was very bad. I also feel a responsibility in cases like this to be transparent because doing so may help protect the safety of others. Which, yes, don't let the bad apples go unpunished. Put everything public and let the people, the community, draw their conclusions. Also, because if they don't believe you, they might believe someone else that comes out with the same story like later on. It's important. I'm not kidding. I'm also going to have to describe conversations I had with people, which I'm loath to do. One of the things I pride myself in is my ability to keep confidence, and I'd never discuss private conversation unless they are extraordinarily unless there are extraordinarily circumstances. This is an extraordinary circumstance. Not only did the parties involved already repeatedly violate my trust in eager attempts to harm me, keeping this kind of information secret has been a tactic they abuse to protect themselves from accountability. Be cooperative to a fault. That is something that a lot of people do, and can we really fault them for it? Can we? To hope that someone, the other side, is not a piece of shit. Only to be reminded of the sad reality, the sad truth that, yes, they do are pieces of shit. It's not always like this, but it usually is. I have done everything I can to avoid this contingency, to the point of folly. I have been very careful to keep the door open to the original collaboration as promised or another amicable resolution. Homestuck rejected this continually and repeatedly. At no point did the unofficial collection ask for any money or favors, or do anything other than offer to give them work for free. So yes. Oh, you're almost there, buddy. I was right. I was right. I don't mean I called it like, aha, I didn't know. Yes, I read it yesterday night, like 1 a.m. So I did not remember, but I remembered. I'm not gonna call it. I'm not gonna answer the phone because I didn't call it. Any attempts to work constructively were violently shut down in favor of Andrew pursuing a personal vendetta and ultimately demanding absolute control of the project. Andrew could have also simply dropped the issue and returned to the status quo of the unofficial Homestuck collection operating unlicensed, but they refused to do this. Let me just pull up. Let me just pull up. Yeah, that is one of the two panels. Maybe if I can find Dirk Homestuck squared. Let's see, maybe I find it. I can take this as the picture, but I don't really like that one. I like another one, but it doesn't look like there is one. There is the one that I was talking about. I'm not gonna go through Homestuck squared. Look, I can I can accept a lot of insane, evil things to be done to myself. Reading Homestuck Squared is not one of them. Yeah, this is Andrew Hussie reading this entire thing right now. Only you people that read a Homestuck Squared will understand. Don't worry. You don't have to understand. You don't have to. Anyway, when I was told I needed to sign an NDA, I asked for an NDA which was never provided. When I was giving an NDA, I signed it. When I asked to discuss paying for a license from Homestuck, I was shut down. No. Okay, now the Bitcoin assassins haven't come yet. We still have time, so we gotta speed run before they arrive here. I know Hussie is watching this. I maintained the frog and the scorpion dynamic. I was the frog, taking a gamble and giving the scorpion a ride it needs. Andrew's the scorpion. If they could overcome their nature, they'd get things for free. If they couldn't, they'd sink themselves. For me, it was just a matter of swimming Andrew to the goal and hoping they wouldn't sink everything. I wanted to make the most generous possible effort in order to see if Andrew can possibly be reasoned with. They cannot. As the frog to their scorpion, I tanked 7 or 8 hits that each should have been fatal. Every time they made a request, we gave them what they wanted, but they rarely did. It always came back to a lie or a threat. Every question, every concern, every suggestion from us was met with outright hostility. I cannot overstate how much Andrew has stuck in their teeth and chose the path of most resistance. Every time, even when it meant destroying themselves to do it. Which is something that we already saw in, once again, the Sarah Z video Fallout, which I might talk about if people might be interested on offensive behavior. Regardless of how it was done, an assault on the collection is a tragic loss. But the way Andrew went about doing it has been vile. Yeah. As I said, taking down the only way to read the webcomic. Also, it's a stupid way to do it, so Andrew, for real. Just let it be. I have been astonished at the extent Homestuck is willing to flagrantly lie, manipulate, extort, and otherwise try to use bullying and pressure tactics in order to gain power over others. I was already skeptical about Homestuck project management skills from my postmortems of other projects, but I never gotten such a close look at how truly brazen and malicious it all is. The shamelessness of it all has been genuinely shocking. The concerns I brought up about a Hive swap amounted to one blip of data. Let's just, to give context, again, $2.5 million investment over 8 years, and this was 2020. And we got nothing new from here. And there is a lot to read, which we might do, but not today, not right now. Let's read this. The concerns brought about a Hive swap amounted to one blip of data. Since then, I've been privy to many more incidents that form a clear line. I have it on good authority that what I'm going to describe here isn't an isolated incident. I confirmed this has been happened to other people, with other projects, with other sets of demands. The constant factor is the abuse of power. This isn't just what they did, it's what they're like. I mean, you can't change a wolf changes his fur, but not his, I don't know how to put it in English. But a wolf sheds his fur, but not his nature. There we go. Lupo cambia il pelo, ma non il vizio. Andrew themselves is manipulative and controlling. a mature and competent bully. We're talking about a 50-year-old man, if I remember correctly, or at least 40. I know it's at least 40. The system they built around themselves are designed to mask this behind plausible deniability. Because of Andrew slash Homestuck's almost mythological status, people are willing to extend them a lot of good faith, and they very aggressively exploit that. They are practice and manipulation and use social and legal pressure in order to control others, especially people they view as problems. Can I just say that, god damn it, why are the most assholish people the ones that do some of the best works? Like Andrew Hussie, god damn it, fuck you, dude. Fuck you, non-binary person, dude, by being offensive. I don't mean it in an offensive way. Have a good one, CWC. Who else? God damn it. Like, the creator of Made in Abyss. Beautiful story. Dude needs to go in jail. Dude needs to go in jail. Needs to be locked in, and the key has to be been thrown away. He makes the comic. He goes, yeah, make the new chapter. UPD. It gets taken out from his hands. The lolly shit gets censored or straight up removed. No more sexualizing of kids, please, and we move on. Same for the Tsukumomo actor. Cool story. Stop sexualizing kids. It's not okay. I don't like it. Who else? I remember there were other people that made the Feds creator. I still have to play Feds because after the Gamergate incident, I said no, I'm not gonna play it. Feds. Everybody talked good about the game. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. Creator. Piece of shit. Lovecraft. We're not gonna talk. Let's just move on. Explicitly, the actions taken against the unofficial Homestuck collection was not based on a good faith attempt to protect Andrew's rights, but was instead direct retaliation. This was the case not just with me, but with Bambush, someone Andrew had no complaint with until Bambush didn't yield to their demands. Even the slightest lack of deference was enough to make Andrew treat him like an enemy too. There is no material copyright complaint here. Copyright is only a legal tool being weaponized. They made it clear throughout the process that they approve of the collection and want it to continue to exist. But they also wanted full control over it. Takedowns and similar demands were only ever used to apply pressure to force people to behave socially in the way Andrew demanded. This approach seems to have been their standard operating procedure for many years. Again, we're gonna go. Let's see if I can find it. God damn it, I know. I know there is a panel that I really want to show that shows how evil this character is in the Homestuck Squared, because not in the Homestuck period. Homestuck period is good. Homestuck Squared is bad. Homestuck Beyond the Canon is bad. Homestuck epilogues are bad. I can't find it. God damn it! It was everywhere. No, but at least there's a dope ass. At least there's a dope ass Dave Strider wallpaper. Let's just take a second to enjoy the wallpaper. I love Dave. Dave is such a cool thing. Dave has just such a cool drip. Sorry, he's just cool. He's just cool. I love him. I love him so much. But anyway, let's continue. Andrew creates a coercive environment where they have a high degree of control over people. The various tactics Andrew employed with the unofficial Homestuck collection, are all in pursuit of the same common end we see in so much of their other behavior, getting people under their thumb. They manage power over people, which they use to reward friends and punish enemies. I totally understand how they've gotten away with treating people like this. It's practice, effective manipulation. If I hadn't already had it impressed on me that Andrew was a wet fate actor I needed to be vigilant around, I'd probably it would have probably have worked on me too. I have no idea how Toby Fox managed to work with Hussie for so long when everybody that worked with Hussie, not everyone, but the majority of people that had to deal with Hussie went and said something around along these lines. If you are one of the people who have worked with Andrew in the past, and this description does not ring true for you, I'm happy for you. Unfortunately, that does not change the fact that Andrew behaves this way with many others. If Andrew treated you decently, consider that if Andrew had treated others with the same decency, there would be no problem, and we would all be much better off for it. Abridged. This is pretty fast. This will necessarily be abridged. Unlike past reporting where I had to draw a conclusion from what little material was published, this has been a multiple year ordeal and I have comprehensive documentation of every offense that took place along the way. If I covered every offense committed by Hussie/Homestuck as part of this process, that explanation would be longer than all the Hype Swap work put together. Please do! I want to read more of it! I will do it offline. I don't care. I want to read the drama. I'm deeply caring of this stuff. Don't look at the fact that it took me like 4 days to read this. I didn't know there was this thing on. This is a summary, but trust me, there is no secret message buried in the cracks where they say it's opposite day and they were actually cool and good the whole time. One common motive I've had to edit around are platitudes that turn out to be demonstrably false a few moments later. There's a lot of them, and every time I include one, I have to go back and note that it wasn't true, or it sounds like I'm presenting it as facts. So lots of that wasn't true, that wasn't true, that wasn't true, wasted on a non-load-bearing thoughts, and that just turns into speed bumps. But I want to read them, man! Just give it them to me! Inject the homosexuality right into my veins, please! I yearn for it. Background: the collection. I already talked about this. I'm gonna skim through it a little bit. Basically, the official Homestuck collection is an offline archive that was written by Ben Bosch in 2019-2020, and then him, Jovan H, joined during 2020 or 20, yeah, during 2020, 2021. Homestuck referenced several websites that no longer exist and use deprecated technologies like Flash, as I said. And so, these two good fellas created a reader, an offline reader that would just bring you to an offline version of those pages, which was very, 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 very good. And as the Homestuck website went offline entirely in early 2025. Not really, as you can see, the site, it's online, if you would call this online. You can read it, but you can't watch it. So, yeah. I had actually been working on developing an equivalent program at the same time. So shortly after the release of the collection, I contacted Bosch and offered to help polish. And since 2021, he's been a co-creator. Bob Bosch, by the way, has been and will continue to be the greatest of all time. Throughout this whole project, I have made it a point to try to take the pressure off him when possible and carry it myself. That includes this messy explanation. Bob Bosch has been incredible throughout this whole process, and when he was wasting the worst of it. So, yeah, we're not going to talk about Ben Bosch. Ben Bosch is like that weird playing dude from Undertale. Just vibing, zero controversies, zero stuff. Stay waiting, my friend. Alright. The collection is licensed under GPL 3, which is, I don't know what this is, attribution cost. Basically, anyone can use it, and as long as there are changes, as long as the people that change the stuff and redo and modify the project, if people try to reuse it, they have to let it stay in GPL 3.0. Basically, free project, you use it, must be free, must let others modify it. Right? Pretty easy. The collection has been an extremely rewarding project for me because of how much the community has appreciated. Anytime I see people talking about starting or rereading Homestuck, I always see someone in the comments point them to the collection, which really is incredible. The little utilitarian value function in my head is so happy with the reception the project got. Not just because it's a fan favorite, but because of how much the whole community has really appreciated being here. Let's check this. If this is porn, I swear to God. My dad reminded me the other day that when I got into Homestuck as a kid was also when I started to feel creatively dissatisfied. Seeing people sit down and make rich and interesting stuff lit a fire in me. I'm glad I'm able to make something so many people enjoy, even if it's on the technical side. Aww. No, it was also just a couple of months ago. Aww. That's adorable. Asset layer cake. Alright, basically, I again gonna make it faster. The collection is split in two things. The reader, which is stuff that they created, it's theirs, nobody can touch it, and the asset packs. Basically, like he says here, it's a simplified version of the emulator ROM dichotomy. They created the emulator, they created the reader, and the assets were from Hussie. Nothing else. So, the reader itself is not infringing, like it says here. It's all original work and doesn't reproduce copyrighted material. The unofficial in the title also clearly marks it as unaffiliated with Homestuck, so there's no trademark issue either. The Reader project is not part of Homestuck, it's original work that we own. And yes, there's just no way around it. It's fan work, but it's still their work. The asset packs are Hussie's work, or whoever did those for Hussie. As Jovan puts here, everything that's there is just an archive of material that was already published for free. There was no paywall. Nothing that was payable is there, but it's still work from Hussie. So if they want to copyright it, they want to endorse the copyright, they can. Yeah, in the eyes of the law, it's still a reproduction of Homestuck copyrighted material. So Andrew would be within their rights to require folks to stop hosting it if they chose to attack the project, as I said. But this is the problem. Hussie themselves could just say, alright, you... where is it? You cannot keep the assets here on the unofficial Homestuck collection. You cannot have the asset pack here. Just remove it. Che c'è? Fame di già? Buddy, I fed you... Give me a second. Come on, go down. I fed you 54 minutes ago. You're gonna have to wait until Rebecca comes up. I'm sorry, buddy. You ate an hour ago. You gotta accept the fact that you can't eat every 10 minutes. Otherwise, you're gonna barf. What can I do? I don't want to clean up your barf. Also because that's food that is gonna be thrown up. And then thrown out. That food doesn't grow on trees, buddy. It costs money. And I don't have a job right now. Until September. So I need to make do. And you need not to throw up. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, don't worry, he's not starving. He ate literally an hour ago before I started streaming. But where was I? Basically, Hussie could just go take down the. Hey, buddy. No. Later. When Rebecca comes up. Can you guys see it? Maybe if I go face cam. No, you can just see the tail. Oh, yeah, you can see him barely. I'm sorry, but no, I'm not gonna feed him. Rebecca's gonna do it. I like how long it takes her to come back upstairs. Anyway, let's go back to reading. TLDR, Hussie could just go take down the acid pack. Let's make the acid pack. You can't keep it in the collection. I'm gonna keep it in my servers. You can keep the reader. Nothing else. Don't ever talk to me ever again. Which would be fair. But do not take down everything. Anyway. In summary, Homestuck and Beatspedia for a time always had the right to force us to stop distributing the acid pack that constitutes making reproduction of Homestuck, which they have the exclusive right over. However, the reader application is entirely new work, and the Homestuck IP does not have any special claim over it. As I said. Because I already read this. Endorsement. Fortunately, when it came out, Andrew didn't attack it. In fact, we saw the opposite. There was a stereo launch about people involved with the official team praising and recommending the collection, which culminated in Andrew themselves updating their only web presence at the time to point to it. And this one. Homestuck web version hosted by Viz Media, somewhat broken, and then unofficial offline version not broken. Andrew even came back to Twitter to agree that the collection was 100% the best way to read Homestuck. As you can see here, Andrew retweeted, Homestuck is just got significantly more unstable with multiple 500s. Anyway, here's your reminder that the unofficial Homestuck archive is 100% the best way to read Homestuck. And Andrew retweeted it. So there's where the story starts. The creator of the original work telling the public the version of their own work is broken and people should use the fan archive instead. We are not entitled to make a reproduction of Homestuck, but we have been giving a blessing. By the time we get to the end of the story, the official website will have been fully abandoned in favor of sending people to this collection. The one power Andrew has is to try to take down the acid pack, but in this case, they actively like the collection and wants to see it remain up. Yeah, basically, don't bite the hand that feeds you, buddy. First approach, October 2023. Around June 2023, Bambush and I got the first hint that someone might be looking to contact us in an official capacity, and the project email account got a message in October. This was notably late to be getting official communication. The collection released in 2020 and exploded in popularity then. But here we were seeing first communications about it in 2023. As previously noted, Homestuck spent this time endorsing the collection. This delay turned out to be due to Andrew unpartnering with Viz in October, which gave Andrew control over the Homestuck.com website. So if they wanted to fix the website, now they can. More of this later. Again, you see how good this stuff has been done. Yep, good job, Hussie. In October 2023, Bambush and I get this email. Miles. Hey there. My name's Miles, and I hope it isn't too out of the blue, but I'm reaching out to you because of your awesome work on an official Homestuck collection. I'm working on an upcoming Homestuck project, and we're sort of getting some stuff in gear. And Andrew mentioned that it'd be super cool to do a little work with you at some point in the future, if that's something you'd be amenable to. Andrew loves the collection and thinks it'd be pretty cool to work with it in the future. He even has some ideas for contribution of content he'd love to add to the collection. Oh wow, the entire site died. That goes to show you how shitty this thing is. Would you be all comfortable chatting with me on Discord sometimes? And we can talk a little more details on this and maybe get you talking on Andrew at some point? You can reach me as redacted on Discord and pop me a message literally anytime. And just so be clear, we're hoping to keep the work we're doing in private for right now. And so Andrew and the team would be super appreciated if you kept this under your belt until we have a chance to explain a little more about the kind of things we want to do. Sorry to be so clock and dagger about it, ha ha ha. Please feel free to write back or hit me on Discord, literally whatever. But we're looking forward to hearing from you. That on Discord is doing some very, very heavy lifting here. Hit me literally whatever. That's what it should have been written. Takeaways. This is before the launch of Homestuck Squared Beyond Canon and the start of the Homestuck Independent Creative Union, the HIKU. So the name Miles is new. A team working with Andrew is working on a project and would like us to collaborate on it. This project, and possibly Andrew working on projects in general, is still secret. This team would later to be revealed as the HIKU, and Andrew loves the collection. So those are the takeaways. As far as official responses go, this is pretty good. If this had been true, all will still be well. Good fate. Given that we know how Homestuck has historically acted, the Saturday video fallout again, not tonight. The safest things to do at this point would have been to tell them to go pound sand. But it was also possible that things were actually changing internally at Homestuck for the better, which would delight me. Homestuck and the unofficial collection were in a position to collaborate for mutual benefit. There is no hierarchical relationship here. Goddamn, my nose is so scratchy. I don't know why, but it's bothering me. I cannot concentrate. God damn it. I must be lying or some shit. I don't know, but some dude said the autistic lawyer the one that loves whales. I'm sorry, I'm bad with names. I don't mean anything bad by it. We just saw the episode where, oh yeah, when you're lying, you tend to go like, ooh. And then you tend to touch your legs and do weird shit. I don't know, man. It was weird. But now I can stop thinking about it. Anyway. Homestuck was in a position to give the unofficial collection a license to distribute the asset back, promotion and development support. The unofficial collection was in the position to use the work in an official Homestuck website, give Homestuck a working archive of its inaccessible work, promote the Homestuck brand, and give Homestuck a license to use the unofficial collection reader beyond the GPL. This was also a key opportunity for Homestuck to publicly legitimize the HIKU by visibly working with its community and not against it. There are three basic possible outcomes. Win-win. Andrew has the HIKU work, which again is the Homestuck Independent Creative Union, HIKU. Andrew has the HIKU work collaboratively with the existing fan projects. Maybe we put together licensing to let us distribute the asset packs, or maybe we fold the thing into an official project with new licensing. There are many mutually beneficial options here. Neutral, Homestuck doesn't have to pursue any action. They can continue to allow the collection to be distributed as it was, but retain the ability to take it down at any time they want. Or the real one, the one that actually happened. Andrews demands an arrangement that is not mutually beneficial. They think they can take control of the project or compel me to give them a blank check or whatever. I refuse, Andrew takes legal action, I take down the project. I put together a report on what happens, you're here, it's revealed how bad Andrew was, and the unofficial collection is harder for anyone to use, including Homestuck. This process started before the HIKU and before free licenses were being talked about. And so I was fully ready to license the unofficial collection by paying money out of pocket. I would have, and in fact did, make personal sacrifices to make this work. But I'm not dumb. There is a requirement on us to be responsible about what commitments we make. Just a peanuts meme. I'm just gonna ignore it. I get it. The unofficial Homeless Collection is a community project. It's not just my work, it's the work of dozens of community members. As the maintainer of the project, I'm responsible for doing it right by the whole project and everyone who trusts me to maintain it, including both its contributors and its users. Part of what it means to be a responsible and trustworthy member of the community is not being negligent. I can't make agreements that put valuable resources like the unofficial collection at risk just because it would be easier for me to trust someone, especially when their trustworthiness is already in question. Again, Hussie, thank you. Thank you, buddy. If Andrew made a bad deal with Vids that resulted in them not doing right by the website, that's Andrew's neglectful error. If I make a bad deal that lets Andrew not do right by the collection, that's my neglectful error. Which, completely understandable, and I agree. But what I have here is a very, very good deal for Andrew. It's a free house for you, Jim. We've done this enormous amount of work for free, and we're happy to keep doing it in ways that more directly profited them. The only requirement we ever had is that we would be working with Homestuck, not for them. To unilaterally hand a community project over would be to treat its many collaborators inappropriately and ultimately compromise the work. And I agree with that. I 100% agree with that. There's nothing not to be, really to be said. At the end of the day, it's a community project. Yes, it has the assets, but it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It can simply be separated. So, Hussie has no power over this. If Andrew doesn't see this as a primarily being about asserting dominance over an enemy, this should be easily navigable. If they can only play dominance games, it will collapse. I was always pushing to do the kind of collaboration they approached us to do, but I was never willing to cross the line into predicating any work on some public humiliation ritual. If Andrew wants to help us, they can. If they want us to give them our help, they can have it for free. If they want to control us, they cannot. It's that simple. I agree. I agree. Just because you're big and strong doesn't make you righteous to control over me, to control me over. Simple as that. I don't have much to say. It's just Andrew is a piece of shit in this regard. But we're still not there yet. It is a perfect instance of the dynamic, and of the scorpion and the frog. The frog is taking a gamble and giving a scorpion a ride it needs, and the scorpion, if they don't do anything, they get to where they want to be. And yeah, Andrew is the scorpion, yes. At the time, James Roach was the person most vividly handling the day-to-day handling of Homestuck operations. And from what I'd seen of him, he seemed completely professional and reasonable. So, if we would be working with him, this could easily work out. My expectation from the beginning was that the more Andrew involved themselves, the more they would shoot themselves, and therefore the project in the foot. So the emphasis placed on Andrew's minimal involvement made us think that we could avoid this problem, and maybe someone else even understood it too. What they said throughout the introductory phase, and the fact that they were asking to work with me at all, indicated that that was the case, although this will later on turn out to be false. Oh wow, someone lying on the internet? Who would have thought? So, we took the responsible route. We decided to allow them to prove their goodwill by being as cooperative and friendly as possible without creating vulnerabilities that bad actors could exploit. I was going to try to pursue a mutually beneficial collaboration, but I was also going to be sure that in doing so, I wasn't leaving myself open to be exploited. Good faith without being negligent. Smart. I think this was the right approach, even though it came at a significant personal expense. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, just because you want to be gentle just because you want to be, how you say, uh, a good person. It's not good faith. Be educated. Doesn't mean that you have to just let them run over you. Yeah. Anyway, let's go to the meat of the problem. Finally, only took like what, an hour? Yeah, an hour and a quarter almost. We reached out to Miles via Discord shortly after getting the email. What's this? Oh, this is 6. A quick note on these Discord quotes. These are all carefully transcribed so they're accessible on all screen sizes and screen reader. As with all block quotes, an ellipsis indicates a cut. I also have a very crunchy screenshot and other evidence for those, but collaging them into a readable article would make even nastier reading. I actually kind of like this one better, but yeah, let's just keep it this. Oh, cool! We can actually do the thing. Cool! But yeah, thanks so much for getting back to us so quickly. I think it'd be really cool to link up and do some work together with the collection. I know Andrew has some ideas for contribution as well, assuming, of course, that you're amenable to it. It's your baby. We don't want to do anything you're not comfortable with, but we can cover the details later. At any rate, I'm just glad you can check that email address. Oh, it's from here downwards. All right. What's the 7? I go to linger on these early moments to show you the tone, but don't worry. I won't go in depth for every exchange of messages. I simply cannot. Oh, cool! It brings you back. That's neat. Yeah, definitely open to any suggestions. Joe's whole thing was that he approached me with a bunch of good ones, and like, dang, I'm definitely not gonna turn down the help. Basically, all the new stuff since the original release was his work. He'll literally just DM me out of nowhere, be like, "Hey, check this out. Hey, check out this whole ass thing I did, and it's awesome every time." Sweet, lol. By the way, on the topic of privacy, I want to go with this crunchy one. Hermit life, etc. At the risk of sounding a bit cloak and dagger, would you mind keeping the fact that we reached out to you under wraps for a little bit? Basically, just until we worked out more of whatever this is going to be and the stuff we'll be doing together. Absolute zipper lips. Though, can we get Gio on it as well? For the aforementioned valuable working partner reasons. Yeah, for sure. As you mentioned, Joe is a big contributor, so we expect you both to be locked in here as the conversation coalesces around what it is we're gonna be doing together. You can clearly see that Miles is under a Hussie because he uses words that I never seen, like coalesces. What the fuck is that? Yes, Zell, it's simple. It means becomes, right? Let's check. Yeah, meet, blend, fuse, combine, join, mix, whatever. Jesus Christ, dude. Just talk like you speak. That's what we're gonna be doing together. For now, if possible, I'd appreciate if you kept it to yourself, just because I want to make sure I have the go-ahead from Andrew to loop whoever you feel is relevant in. But again, it's your project, and I can't imagine Joe wouldn't be on it as well. I'd ask him right now, but I think he's out doing something, lol. Also, I just want to let you know, in the next couple of days before Andrew and I started chatting with you guys about what it is that we want to get into with you and sharing ideas, we're probably going to ask you to sign an NDA. The reason I tell you now is just so I can take the time to personally assure you that this is not some scary legal bullshit, and we have no interest in like being weird or punitive about shit. We just want to do our due diligence to make sure that the privacy of the project is respected. If you have any question at all about the document when the time comes, please don't hesitate to ask me. Takeaways. Andrew slash Miles, later explained as the Hiku, wants to do some work together with the collection and make contributions to the project. This is all to be at our discretion. They promised to not do anything with the project we weren't comfortable with. I am introduced in the very first conversation as being key to the project, and it's completely expected for us to be a package deal. It's clear Homestuck is fine with this. Lastly, there is an NDA to keep things secret, but there will be absolutely not be any punitive legal bullshit. Foreshadowing is a literary term. Roles and agents. Yeah, for now this doesn't look bad. But it will. Roles and agents. Andrew forces people to be intentionally vague about an enormous amount of important information as a power play. That includes who all is acting and what role exactly. Required me to do an additional untangling here to explain it. Miles is here as a representative of Homestuck Inc. and Andrew Hussie. Consistently, Miles acts as a direct proxy for Andrew's intent, sometimes copy-pasting their actual messages, which is why I'm treating Andrew and Miles as a unit. Miles sometimes attempts to do some persuasion on Andrew's behalf, but this is done as an empowered agent. There was a few personal conversations I had with Miles, but he went out of his way to clearly mark those as speaking on his own behalf, in contrast to his usual role as a direct proxy for Andrew. I'll let Andrew know. Have you noticed you have the job of a priest? Wow. Hello, priest. I never heard it put it that way, but I love the comparison. It seems like a good gig. Gives me an excuse to say Andrew works in mysterious ways. Sweetie, can I ask you a favor?
Yeah.
Can you put some? Can you fill the water?
I have already some ready. Also, sorry it took so long.
Allora.
Are you having fun?
I'm reading through this thing. We're still on the. We barely got
I
to.
can see that.
No, I
Jesus
barely got to the
Christ.
place where we were last night.
Oh, now perfect. So now
Yeah.
I can listen to the rest.
Yeah, we just got to the first messages, and the first messages look all nice and dandy. Did you... Hai riempito le acque?
Yes.
Tutte le bottiglie d'acqua?
Yes.
Hai buttato via il sudicio?
Yes.
Hai spento il clima?
Yes.
Poi se c'è tutto il resto, tutta l'altra roba la ci penso io. No, grazie a te. You're the one that did the most of the work. Yeah, today I cooked. We had to finish some flatbread. So I set up all the ingredients and put everything down. And she just filled the bottles of water because we ran out of water because it's fucking hot. It's 40 degrees. And she fixed a couple of things. So now we're just gonna wait a moment for Rebecca to show up. But can we talk about how having a dude that basically does, yeah, you're basically a priest. You basically just speak. The Lord goes, and you go, yeah, he said he was no pickles. And now he wants a discount because you put pickles and he doesn't want it anymore. Do you understand? It's not good. It's not a good thing. Let's read while we wait for Rebe. This way I can give her a TLDR. As a member of the Hiku, Miles is straddled in what should be a tricky position with conflicts of interest, except that the labels are mostly fake. Andrew is the interest that counts and everything else is smoke and mirrors. Then, when they later try to make a distinction between Andrew and the Hiku, Miles continues to represent Andrew while James Roach essentially represents himself in a management role as Hiku. Although, it turns out, the structure of the Hiku allows Andrew to overrule him at any point. I mean, if this wasn't Andrew, I would kind of say, yeah, kind of agree. Like, you having the power to veto? Oh, thank you.
Here you go. It's
Thank
not
you.
very fresh.
Yeah, I know. We finished them all, so. Oh, you got yourself a little snacky snack.
Yeah.
You can feel that some of the water is warmer than some of the other because this wasn't completely empty. There was a little bit of water.
I see.
TLDR, what you missed is basically Miles, this dude. Good job. Miles, this dude. Yeah, it's gonna dry in like
That
2 minutes.
aesthetic, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna dry for. Oh yeah, for the sex appeal. Yeah, we do need some sex appeal in this stream. Otherwise, nobody's gonna join. But I'm supposed to be the sex appeal.
Hey,
Your
have
ass. Yeah, TLDR.
Frustrated.
Miles basically acts as Andrew's spokesperson. Like, Andrew talks to him, to Miles, and Miles talks to the people.
Okay.
It's kind of like
Middleman.
it's literally the messenger.
Yeah,
Like they made a joke. Like, have you noticed that you have the job of a priest? Basically, he's a priest.
The middleman. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was a middleman. And yeah, the Hiku, you know, the Homestuck independent, the Homestuck independent creative union, basically the fandom, the fans that wanted to create stuff. Miles is supposed to be at the head of it, but since Miles is initially Hussie has veto power over everything. So Hussie has power over everything, even the stuff that wasn't not supposed to be his.
I see.
So this is what you missed. This is what you missed, and this is what we're gonna go from now on. Alright. Miles, real quick, before I get too deep into details here, you're speaking on behalf of Andrew / Homestuck King here, correct? Yes, I'm speaking on behalf of Andrew. Also, for the record, since it seems like that's kind of an important point, I don't represent Andrew legally or even personally. I'm just sort of here to kind of help out where I can as an interest party in the longevity and well-being of Homestuck as a whole. Oh, no, wait, why is Miles... yeah, Miles and James, okay. Yeah, I'm conceptualizing James as being here for the eco, basically. Much more interested now that I'm sort of at the helm of some stuff. My name and reputation being very intimately being to the property at this point.
Also, Nasta Brook profile picture.
No, it's not Nasablook, it's just a ghost.
Alright.
Oh, no. Wait, is Miles and James are... yeah, oh, no, alright. Jovan H is the creator.
Yes.
Jovan H is the creator.
Yeah, the one who made the...
Bambosh is the... Jovan H is the creator of the blog and the co-creator of the reader. Bambosh is the creator of the reader. So basically, Bambosh and Jovan H are the victims.
Okay, yeah.
Miles is like the deep throater, the Hussie deep throater. Hussie is Hussie. And where is it? James is in a management role at the Hiku. But the structure of the Hiku allows Andrew to overrule him at any point. Please
Okay.
please don't use your cough on the ground. I'm sorry, it's just bad. Give me a second. Oh, my bad.
We're having fun.
It's not worth buying. Oh yeah, by the way, this is Homestuck the official page. Like, since we're talking about, as you can see, it's very readable. You can see how readable it is.
Readable,
Yes.
man.
Anyway, so yeah, James is basically management on the Hiku, but it's useless. Anyway, as a rule, as a rule, Andrew has refused to directly use their own name for anything. To maintain plausible deniability, maybe. It's a cheap stunt, and I'm not letting you fall for it. When I talk about Homestuck as an actor, I'm talking about Andrew Hussie, or a duly appointed representative. Andrew ultimately is responsible for these choices. If occasionally Miles or James or some other layer of Homestuck management was the one to type a message, it doesn't matter. Andrew has final say. Andrew set up the management to work the way it does, and Andrew is ultimately responsible for events they cause. That's fucking base. That's true. Andrew created the system. Andrew never got against the system. Never said, "Yeah, the system is not okay." They deserve to be. I don't want to say punished, but they deserve the to be put in the seats of. Yeah, it was your responsibility. I know the Joker's trick here is to set up Miles up to take the entire fall when this goes out. But that's a set ploy, and you're not going to fall for it for this time. No more of this possible deniability human buffer crumpled zone trickery. It's just Andrew's decision. Sometimes with a human shield if Andrew thinks it will benefit himself. What's this all about?
Cause I wonder why this person's calling Andrew with they them.
Because Andrew is non-binary.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
I didn't know. No, I knew. I knew. Whenever we talk in Italian, I just use male pronouns because there's not really a
There's no a neutral.
yeah,
name,
there is no gender neutral one, and even now,
Our gender neutral is male. Usually.
yeah, our gender neutral is male, and I guess that this the site is dead. What the fuck is this? Oh. All right. Okay. Nice reference.
Oh.
Nice reference. Yeah, this is a Wayback Machine archive. Yeah, basically they're talking about Andrew doing this thing. I'm not gonna go to it. Basically, just being the asshole of the story. Good job. Qualified. That being said, I really, really don't want to see blame misplaced because of this. I think when most people familiar with it think of the Hiku, their reaction is, "Oh, they're doing better," or even, "Yeah, I'm on their side. I don't fault you for this." Based on what they said about themselves, many people, including me personally, gave the Hiku a huge amount of good credit up front, and they've done very little publicly to hurt that image. Hi, Asus, how you doing, buddy? In this article, I have criticism of Andrew and Miles. This is not a general indictment of the Hiku crew. This is not an indictment of anyone involved in the FRAF. Do not let any other fan creators get caught up any blame from this. This is about Andrew's handling of the unofficial collection. I have another article about the Hiku, which also does not fault the creative team. We're not gonna talk about the Homestuck humor was always fake, and I want to say something very funny. Here, I don't remember where this is specifically. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Maybe it's this one. There was one. No. No, it should be here. There was one very sad and very funny typo. Oh no, it's here. It's here. I knew it was unavoidable, but it really is heartbreaking to see this affecting HSBC and FNAF folks who are not the problem here. It should have been a FRAF. I don't know what the FRAF is in the Homestuck. Let's check. Let's just go Homestuck FRAF. Fruity Rumptious Asshole Factory. Oh, this is actually real? I thought it was the fake, but yeah, no, it's this. Also, thanks for asking. Why wouldn't I? Also, I just sold $71 worth of shit. Oh wow, okay, I like that. Thank you for buying my shit. I really appreciate it. But yeah, the first time I read it, I was like, why is the FNAF fandom going down? What the fuck happened? And then I just realized that it was just a typo. Yep. Again, we're not gonna talk about the Hiku. We're not gonna talk about the Sarah Z. We're not gonna talk about the Hive Swap. We're only gotta go here because we're just here. You guys cannot see. We're up here, and we still gotta go all this way. So yeah, we still have a lot of ground to cover. Yeah, we gotta go a little bit down. Yeah, we're here. You know Joe's here, right? So, there is an obvious elephant in the room, which is the fact that I've been a harsh critic of Andrew Hussie's professional behavior before, and he took it very poorly. Andrew specifically said that he'd never have anything to do with me and implied I was a stalker and a sex pest. Oh yeah, I remember in the Sarah Z video Fallout. I remember. Well, just gonna be with that. Alright? Just believe me. It is. Go watch the Sarah Z video. It's like 2 hours long. It's worth it. It also gives you a very good understanding on how Andrew behaves. Go for it. It's very well edited. I watched it twice. It's good. It was a long time ago though. So this conversation happening at all was weird. And it was even weirder how this was insistently painted as a complete non-issue. I'd rather watch Nemesis Blue. I mean, Nemesis Blue is a good watch. There are two different things. Also because you don't really have to watch the video. You can just listen to it. Kind of like this. You don't have to watch the stuff. I'm just reading. So you guys can just keep me on another tab. It's not a problem. Joe? Dio? No, it's just Joe. It's just Joe H. So there's no JoJo meme here, sadly. Audiobook, kinda audiobook, but also with very bad opinions. Anyway, to give you some context, Asus, this guy is the co-creator of the unofficial Homestuck collection, which was the only way to read Homestuck. A couple of days ago, Hussie took down the unofficial Homestuck collection because they are a piece of shit. And this is the official website. Okay, you see that there's no fucking pictures. Also, Azus says hi, Rebe.
Hi, Azus.
She said hi. This content sucks. I'm sorry, but it's important, alright? Jestericus. Welcome. Please don't take me seriously. I mean, you're a jester. I'm not gonna take you seriously because you're a jester. That's cool. That is a cool profession. Don't take it as an insult. You're the only one that is allowed to be made fun of the king. And if the king actually punishes you, it shows that the king is a dumbass. And it should not be taken seriously. So, lucky you. I cannot speak ill of Trump. Our beautiful king. Don't say oh, Jesus. My ears. I pay rent now. Thank you. It literally broke my ears. It was so fucking loud.
You need to fix the audio.
Yeah. I really appreciate it. Peak.
How much did they give?
They tier 1 for 3 months. You want to come and say thank you as well? If you feel like it. She's playing Emerald again. Yeah, she stole my DS, my green DS, and she's playing Emerald.
I mean, I have a DS, but mine broke.
Yeah,
so
hers broke, so she's taking my DS and
to play with my cartridge. Though.
Yeah,
So.
because my cartridge is big, because I have the actual good one, that it's with the tribals. Anyway, again, reading all the drama that has been going on by Joe H and Hussie. Hussie has been an asshole, deserves criticism. Anyway, again, thank you. Let's go on. As for my side of things, I had thought this through before we replied to the original email. For the sake of the project, since there was the potential to do real good on the table, I had decided to take an attitude of agree to disagree and simply not make it an issue. I'm already working on the unofficial collection without letting my personal frustration impact the work. I could work with Andrew as long as they were being reasonable, and if they insisted on bringing up all the hostilities in a way I couldn't brush past, we would have to part ways on the project. But Raven, we get it! Raven, we get it! Just stop it!
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to show my team.
Your team sucks. Go to bed.
No, it's great. I'm still at the after the second gym. Of course, I need to build it better.
She didn't shiny hunt for the starter, so her team sucks. She didn't spend 50 hours resetting for the starter, so it sucks.
Mainly because it's shit to do on Emerald.
Yeah.
Because of RNG reasons.
But because of RNG stuff. Anyway, but Andrew rejecting my involvement or even investigating hostilities over it would deny them goodwill and access to the unofficial collection. There was never any possibility where their refusing to work with me would end up with them getting control of the project and me leaving it. If they wanted to work, we could work, but they would have to at least tolerate working with the people in charge of the project, as is obviously the case for anyone wanting to collaborate with anyone. Again, Andrew, asshole. Oh yeah, just let me get you to know. Oh, he's gone. He's not gone. Even if they disconnect, they will always be here, and a little bit in my wallet. Again, thank you. I really appreciate it. I have no job until September, so any cent counts. I literally found €1 while doing groceries, and I was like, oh yes, 1/60 of my groceries. Thank you, Lord. Rebe can confirm.
Yeah.
Wait, since Rebe is here, can I use where is it? No, I don't have the webcam on this one. Bad. Okay, cool. So Jesse, his girlfriend is Rebe. She's ass as mash. She is. I lost body from gambling on Rebecca.
I'm trying. All right.
Can you come a little more like no, just if you want to talk a little more. Either you move there, this way they can see you. If you move here, when you remember when we played Smash Brothers? Yes.
Give me a second.
Where do I gamble? You don't gamble. This is not a gambling addict. Did I hurt you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Pass me the mic.
Chip Uvers on fuck you, get banned.
Give me the mic 1 sec.
There we go.
Like, listen, I've been playing since Melee on the GameCube. The problem is that I have shit reflexes. Also, I managed to win with at the end. Yeah.
With Pikachu because you're a fucking rat. Anyway, let's continue. I want to get through this.
It's a compliment.
It's a compliment. She's a rat. Yo, yeah, she won fair and square. Yo, he left. No, I banned him. Anyway, wasn't expecting to be working much with Andrew though. It seemed much more likely I would be working on project through James Roach or Miles, and that would have been my preference anyway. So it caught me off guard when Andrew wanted to communicate with both of us privately. Miles.
Also, I love Miles' profile picture. What the fuck is that?
If I remember correctly, it's from an old show. I remember that face. I don't remember where it's from specifically, but it reminds me of Rugrats, but it's not Rugrats.
Yeah, it's kind of.
Try to actually talk about Nozelia streams. Impossible. I'm sorry. I yap a lot about useless stuff. I know. Anyway, let's go. Miles. The way we tend to do things in terms of folks the Hiko is collaborating with is as follows. Once or if you guys do feel comfortable signing the NDA, Andrew and I are going to chat with each of you one-on-one, one at a time. Think of it as like, I don't know, I guess an interview? Not that we need your credentials, because your work speaks for itself. It's just that Andrew likes to have a chat with folks as well in a semi-formal setting, so that he can be on top of everyone we collab with. Yeah, be on top of everyone is the keyword. No, I don't mean it like that. I mean it in the more literal word, as in I'm gonna be on top of you. You're not gonna be able to do anything. I'm the boss.
Yeah, and also like you said, literally, I guess.
Yeah, literally in that way. Anyway.
Literally on top, physically.
On top of everyone we collab with, again, for personal reasons. Well, again, for reasons, privacy, comfort, etc. So when the time comes, we're gonna basically wait for you to sign the NDA. We'll get another draft to you before then, and of course, no need to sign it until we agree on the form that's gonna take. Then we're going to chat with Bambush. Then we're gonna chat with Joe, and then probably after that we're gonna chat as a foursome. Not beating the sexual joke allegations. You can interact. You don't need my fat to instruct.
Literally on top of.
Anyway, rip. Just there, because I will forever remember you. Also because your tier 1 3 months sub is gonna stay on my activity feed for like 2 months. I'm not kidding. We don't see much movement here. Bambush, that sounds agreeable to me. Miles, cool. Jovan, that seems like a terrible idea. Bambush, Miles, huh? Jovan, that would be the most uncomfortable conversation I've ever had in my life. I didn't look at the comments, chat messages, and then immediate sub. I think he didn't left. That's a high score. Dude is based. Leave him be.
I surprise.
Where's soup? There's no soup. That is a message from like an hour ago.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because the multi chat, I have to deactivate the Twitch chat every time, and it doesn't to remove. But are we cool with chill face? He chill face. I am a chili face. I eat a lot of chili. Nah, actually, I don't eat a lot of chili. And bees say that this is a chill face when it's literally 30 degrees here and my face is fucking hot. It is funny. Why do you think I'm drinking so much water? Anyway.
Oh boy.
That would be the most uncomfortable conversation I've ever had in my life. Miles, really? Jovan, but okay, if you want. Miles, can I ask why it'd be uncomfortable? Jovan, the last thing Andrew said about me is, I don't trust him. I will never speak to him, and probably no one from What Pumpkin ever will either. So I was just planning on granting him blanket permission to skip that part if he wanted. If he wants to, I'll do it. I'm just anticipating that being extra interesting. Cheers? What is a cheer? Let me do one. You don't have to, buddy. You already did too much. You're gonna break my... I gotta become deaf. 6,000. Yo, Mr. Azus, thank you for the message with 60,000 bits. That means no. It's a message. I said with the message with 60,000. You know that someone actually got me the first time. I'm not kidding.
It's because I can hear the sound cues, so and I was looking at the yes, and then I saw the actual message. Yeah.
When I first started streaming, little tangent. Like the second person I ever joined the chat. Put like guy donated this bits, this euros, dollars, and managed to change the text color. So I was like, thank you for the donation, which was like 100 bits, and then they went 1,000 bits. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, dude, you don't have to. And then 100 times 100,000 bits. I was like, dude, stop! And then I realized that it wasn't real. I mean, he did say that. He trolled you. He trolled me, and that's fine. Honestly, I was funny. My words, those people on the label with the most cheers, those people have been there for years, and I'm not kidding. You're gonna make them sad. Alright, let's finish this chat. I'm just anticipating that being extra interesting. Miles. I mean, speaking frankly, I can't imagine Andrew has any desire to get interesting about anything, lol. We just want to chat with folks and work with you guys via the protocols we have in place and make sure the team is comfortable. Yeah, no worries. Again, we're chatting now because I want to get the ball rolling on how you guys are feeling. There's stuff between here, as you can see. He put the 3 dots. Java put the 3 dots to say that there were messages here. So just be curious. Yo, +1, +1, +1. I love the +1. But yeah, at that point, it's gonna be the sign, then chat pipeline. And beyond that, there's nothing more we really want to do. Jova, feeling-wise, for me, having criticized someone does not mean I'm unwilling to work with them, obviously. Miles, so for whatever it's worth, Andrew knew you were a big contributor on this before we reached out. So it's not even close to a deal breaker. Jova, at this point, I figured he must have. Miles, yeah, like, I guess that what I'm getting at here is that we want to work with you. We like what you guys are doing, and we definitely don't have any intention of getting weird about this, lol. The lol here is gonna be like the foreshadowing, literally. Takeaways. Miles emphasizes yet again that my involvement is a non-issue to the point of acting confused by my hesitancy. They know really truly that I'm a major contributor to the project and wasn't ever going to be a deal breaker. Yet more promises that nothing should be unpleasant or hostile. They triple promise not to be weird about it. Have you realized that when people tell you, no, it's not gonna be bad, it's not gonna be bad, then it's gonna be bad. Like, the more they tell you no, the more it's yes. Woo! That's a channel pointed to 7.1k ahead 20k. Then I got honored by Jesus dust. You got the badge, right? I don't remember. I don't remember stuff, honestly, fellas. I don't mean anything bad to you. Anyway, this absolute commitment that there would be no discrimination against me over past disputed complaints is the only reason either of us were willing to engage in any of this in the first place. It was the premise of everything that came after. Every time you see them contradict this basis represents an absolute forfeit of credibility and integrity from them. It is the whole game lost each time. I need you to really, really commit this to memory. Put an extra copy up next to the article. This foundation is going to slip through your fingers so fast it'll seem bizarre. Haha! Giovanni writing bizarre? Haha! Lol XD? A JoJo reference? I had a dude today telling me that, not telling me specifically, but writing that JoJo is not a famous media. I'm like, yeah, so not famous that Gucci themselves asked Araki to make fucking covers for them.
Amazing.
You don't remember each of your frequent viewers' 2 achievements? It's not that I don't remember your achievements specifically, it's just that I don't remember shit, period. Just period. Anyway, Andrew agreeing to work with me without making an incident of it was the mature thing to do, but still unexpected. I had made the decision that the responsible way to handle a working relationship with Homestuck would be to make it to a point not to try to abuse my position, to try to rehash all conflicts or balance the books. Instead, just work on individual projects when we could find mutually beneficial arrangement. Homestuck was promising it to be to do the same. Truces. Let's be truces while we look for the deer. Like, let's be double truces while we look out for Queen. For real. Within those extremely minimal playing rules, I was completely willing to put bad blood behind us and work constructively. Maybe this was naivety. Naivety? But I prefer to think of it as insisting on acting in responsible good faith. If something went wrong, it was going to be because someone attacked me, not because I refused. I refused.
Looks like a slang.
Pretty based, though. Like, yeah, let bygones be bygones. Homestuck de Hiku. Miles had been very secretive about what actual plans there were, saying we needed to be under NDA first. I mean, to be fair, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we got to,
That isn't bad.
that is the
itself.
bad per se.
No.
Where he made a reference. I have a fucking plushie of Sir Pello. You guys know it. I will make a photo and post it on Discord later.
Yeah.
I have the Pello plush.
Let me take it.
No. Don't move it there. It will crumble everything else. I will make a photo of it. Underpants, of course, base.
Yes.
Why wouldn't I? I have a plushie of Pello and Bombi from Funk. That's the only two YouTuber plushies that I have. I wanted to take the Edgeworth as well, because if I remember correctly, majority of the money, a portion of the money would go to charity for cancer, but I ended up not taking it because I'm an I refuse. Anyway, at a high level, that makes sense. So we talked about the structure of this new Hiku while we reviewed the waiver, which includes an incredibly broad non-disclosure agreement.
Yes, Asus, they are pretty good.
The plush is high quality. It is very high quality. The Pale plush was high quality. The Bombi is there. It's behind you on the. Is here somewhere.
Oh.
There he is. This plush is pretty okay. It's still makeshift. It has the little little thing. It's all right. I thought it was bigger. I thought it would have been bigger. Can you put it back on place? Basket of Leo wage. Wait, where is a bot? Where bot? It's not bot. Let it be. Oh yeah, about makeshift. I don't know what's going on. I have enough drama for today. I have so much drama, fellas. We're not even 1/3 of the way through, and it's already 10 and a half. I've been streaming for 2 hours. We gotta go through. Anyway. I spent a lot of time emphasizing how important it is that this doesn't hijack any existing work because the language of the waiver indicates that it will. And Miles goes out of his way to reassure us that it won't be. One thing, okay, we get to TF2. No, I'm caring about this. I care about this. I'm not gonna go for gameplay. I'm just gonna be honest. This is something that I care a lot about. Soldier, Caber Knight. I'm still editing the Caber Knight video. You guys don't understand. It's still it's taking me a big toll because I don't know how to work on it. But I'm trying. I managed to get a little bit done. I'm happy about it. Anyway, Miles, can you tell me what kind of conflicts you guys are concerned about? I want to make sure I can assuage your worries as best as I can, but it'll help me to understand what your concerns are. Jubit. In general, making sure the unofficial collection stays an independent project and not assigning Homestuck with whoever writes over the software / editorial / decisions / etc. Miles, okay, cool. Anything else jump out at you guys? Jobot, big pictures. I'm okay with an NDA to keep any new unreleased happenings secret. Miles, alrighty. Oh wait, join us on Gmod. I'm not gonna play Gmod. I have a PS2. I want to play a new game from 2007. I still have to play it. Now I want to play dog shit games that I bought in my life and I never played. Screw you. Yes, I will. And you won't be able to watch because fuck you. You bet a little bitch, and that door has been shut forever. That's what you get. It's my nose. I will keep begging you. We will do some Gmod offline, alright? Off stream. Anyway, despite all this lip service, the first draft of the Homestuck the Homestuck Community Participation and Release Agreement itself contained an attempt to strip signatories of creative independence. The original waiver had an intellectual property provision that forces all creative concepts, stories, characters, setting, dialogue, project ideas, plans, and all other information related to the Homestuck intellectual property to be bound by the licensing contract between the Hiku and Homestuck Inc., which is a separate, secret document we were not allowed to see until after committing to it. This would turn any signatory into a poison contributor who couldn't work on any independent fan work. That is bullshit. Are you free tomorrow? Text me. I don't know. Just text me. Give me an example of a scenario you're worried about. Okay, for example, you understand and agree that all creative concepts, basically everything that you do and create will be ours. This seems overbroad and would accidentally capture all information related to the Homestuck intellectual property that we discuss with each other, including unofficial collection work as the IP of Homestuck Inc., as well as the fan work and other stuff, which I don't think is anyone's intent, but that's a kill switch I don't want to make. Miles, I can go ahead and have a look at that line and get back to you about Mickey striking it, because I totally see your concern, even though I can straight up promise you man-to-man, for however that's worth. Then we have no intention on operating that way, because again, we love to work with you guys if that's in the cards for us. That would be excellent if we can make it happen. I can totally talk to Andrew about it. Yeah, the thing is, if you're not gonna do it, remove it. Why is there in the first place? Huh? If you're not gonna do it, just strike it, just remove it. I'm not gonna sign something where you have more power over me. It's not that much of a thing. If it doesn't matter, then remove it. I love people that go, but it doesn't matter. Come on, just sign. If it doesn't matter, remove it. Just flip it around. Strawmanning. No, you're strawmanning saying just sign. I'm telling you, since it is a big deal for me and it isn't for you, just remove it. Just do it. Anyway, at our request, we had this line struck from the participation waiver, since the purpose of the NDA in the first place was to allow us to discuss project plans together. And once a basic goal was established, a sensible license could be drawn up around that. Even though what was struck was the absurd blank check clause, where they commit you to follow a separate document you're not allowed to read first, they still grumbled about making this exception. Yeah, they said something that was bad. Have a good one, Asus, and thank you for joining in. I really appreciate it. I know this is not that interesting for you fellas, but it is for me, as I said. I really care about this. There's a lot more going on here, but a full analysis of the release document is outside the scope of this. So, no, you should do it! Do it! I want to see it! God damn it! I'm a worse person than you are! Just let me see it! We also get an early description of the Union here, which matches the description of the Hiku will later give itself. Also, is a Union the same as the group, or is there a management layer? I wasn't clear on that from the doc. So to get colloquial about it, the Union is basically like the collective of Homestuck contributors. If it helps, think of the Hiku as an actual union. About the Homestuck Independent Union. The Hiku. Good night, Nas. Love your nose, Nas. Yeah, I know. It's itchy. I don't know why. It's red because I scratched it too much. I don't know why it's scratchy today. I don't get it. It bothers me. It bothers me a lot. I'm sorry. And Jester, thank you again for everything. For real. Thank you. Oh yeah, I do look like a clown because my nose is redder now. We don't care about this. It's just the description. First, they call themselves a union of creatives, although not a formal labor union. They're committing to act like a labor union, an organization of workers formed for the purpose of serving the members interested with respect to wages and working conditions. The Hiku is bound to represent the interests of its members, not Homestuck's. They immediately established that they are entirely separate and distinct from any existing structures, including Andrew Hussie. Separate entities, separate responsibilities, separate interests. We're supposed to treat the union like a union. If you're paying close attention, you'll notice another problem here. Why is Andrew involved in union business? Yeah, exactly. Why does Andrew have a veto power over the union? If the union is really independent of Homestuck and Andrew, why is Andrew intimately involved in the basic process of onboarding people to the union? That's an immediate conflict of interest. That's true. That's very good. Good job. Good objection. Yeah, the cue there. In fact, why is Andrew involved in any business related to Homestuck at all? What Pumpkin announced to not only that Andrew left What Pumpkin in 2020, but they chose to fully discontinue their creative involvement in any future Homestuck project. I remember this. I was there. Don't tell me the story. I was there. I remember it. It will turn out later that all these labels, What Pumpkin, Homestuck Inc., the Silence Mill, the Homestuck Independent, the Hiku, they're all a shell game. The Hiku isn't all what it says it is. Miles representing the union from day one, and the union itself continued lying about their independence on their web page for years, but that's for another story. The Homestuck Union was always fake. I will read this as well. Commentary contribution. Part of the sell here is Homestuck making the pitch that working with them would allow us to do genuinely useful things. What kind of things was Homestuck looking to contribute, beside official support? I was always keeping in mind the possibility of using the unofficial Homestuck collection, or a version of the collection, to replace or supplement the Homestuck website. But one of the first things Homestuck pitched to entice us was this. Turns out the rest of the Homestuck commentary is finished, and it's just been locked in a vault. This is the commentary they're already committed to releasing as part of the book collection they and Beast announced and failed to complete. For context, there was Homestuck as a book. Fucking sucked. Glad I never bought it. That's about it. Anyway, Miles. But as regards to collection, one of the things I think is okay to let you guys know is that Andrew thinks it'd be cool to get the last of his author's commentary in the collection, which would actually be exclusive to the collection. Jovan, oh, that would be cool. I wasn't sure if that had been written actually. Miles, they totally have, and because Vince isn't really doing the books anymore, the collection seems like it might be the best of all possible hopes for them. But there are some other ideas Andrews is playing with that could crystallize as we work together with you guys in the collection. That is actually good. Honestly, that would have been a Hussie W. That's the kind of juice I would never share under any reasonable condition, even though it was never under an NDA. But Homestuck had crossed too many lines, and that context is an important part of the story. So there's the reveal. The work is all done. Andrew's just been keeping it locked away, possibly just as a card they were holding on to someone to someday dangle as raw bait. Or maybe it was never done. Maybe they only have like the first 3 acts. Like, I don't remember the books where they get up to. I remember they get at least Act 1 and 2 and 3. I remember 3 acts being done. Don't remember if Act 4 ever was a thing. But I completely think that it wouldn't surprise me if this is a lie. Like the latest version and the author's commentary never been done, never been finished. It's just a way to entice you to get close and then just do whatever the fuck they want. The Hiko NDA deadlock. October/June 2023. The basic schedule is this. Bambush signs the Hiku waiver and onboards with Andrew. Then I do the same. Then we start discussing plan properly. We still haven't even discussed what they want us to do in any details, since that's a project they want covered by NDA. So the NDA has to come first for both of us before we can start discussing ideas at all, let alone make any commitments. Bambush gets his agreement signed, but Andrew is on vacation, so it will be a while before there's further progress. There is an Andrew vacation between most of the pauses in this timeline. I'll try to omit them. Alright. Miles. So when the time comes, we're gonna basically wait for you to sign the NDA. We'll get another draft to you before then, and of course, no need to sign until we agree on the form that's gonna take. Then we're going to chat with Babosh. Then we're gonna chat with Joe, and then probably after that, we're gonna chat as a foursome. Yeah, no worries. Again, we're chatting now because all I wanna, or because I wanna get the ball rolling on how you guys are feeling. But yeah, at that point, it's gonna be signed and chat pipeline. And beyond that, there's nothing more we really want to do. This is stuff that we already read. Joe, but Miles, based on what you said, I'm assuming you'll have an NDA for me roughly immediately after Bambosh signs in. Miles, hey, yeah, that's pretty much the game plan. Bambosh signs and we pop an NDA to you afterwards. We have our conversation, etc., and from there we can stop. We can talk shop. Why not just give them to the both of them? Just, hey, this is the NDA. Bambosh signs his, you sign yours. The only thing that changes is the name. Like you're gonna have you both are gonna have it. Anyway, Bambosh, signed for my end. Time to chill for a few weeks because dude is Andrew is on vacation. Crucially, from this point on, I'm cut out from any discussions. Miles, Bambosh, and Andrew. Oh. Oh. I need to sneeze. I need to sneeze. Okay, I didn't sneeze, but I hope that did the trick because let's hope that it did because I felt like I had to sneeze, but it didn't. It never went to. Was it actually hurt me. Anyway, Miles. Yeah, there are probably more talks to come here before you guys explicitly are under license about things such as this. The direction of the unofficial collection, or perhaps the Homestuck collection, will go. Jovar, I have quite a few licensing thoughts, but I assume those will have to wait until ND8. Miles, definitely lol. Jovar, yeah, it's weird trying to make plans when we're disjointed. The Homestuck collection. No, don't you break everything. Where am I gonna put the star?
So am I gonna have to wear a star? Where am I gonna put the star?
Ha, okay, it's a Steven Universe reference. Of course, the Steven Universe slash Homestuck fandom is basically the connecting circles is basically one full circle. At any rate, I'll get to Andrew about getting you the NDA to sign so we can chat as a fearsome foursome. Can you stop writing foursome? Just write as a group. God damn it. Beyond Canon. Just a few days after this, while Andrew was still on vacation, the Beyond Canon reboot announcement and a new site went live. Yep, it's a new site. The Beyond Canon. Nothing new. A bad version of the thing. Let's just ignore it. Miles himself will shortly after be confirmed to be a writer on Homestuck Beyond Canon himself. What can I say about Miles? We don't care about that. NDA deadlock. This is where we get the first major stall of the project, and it's caused by Miles and Andrew trying to pull another fast one with licensing. Now that Andrew has Bambosh behind closed doors, instead of moving on to the next step of giving me an NDA to sign and onboarding me, they cut me off entirely and start putting pressure on Bambosh to write them a blank check. At this point, the NDA makes it impossible for us to coordinate and communicate, so it serves here to isolate and corner a victim who is unable to communicate their aggression to the outside world. I keep asking to also be allowed to sign the same NDA, but I'm always refuted. Again, here I would just talk with Bambosh. Again, before anything, you go first. You wait until I'm in. I go first. I wait until you're in. Like the package deal, whatever they say. No, I'm gonna wait for him. There's just nothing else. We're 50-50. You take either of us, or you don't take any of us. We already knew the NDA clause in the waiver was extremely broad, but we didn't know if the intent was to protect people's privacy as we were told, or if the plan was to weaponize it. Oh wow, now we know. We now know the purpose of the NDA was to be weaponized because that's how Andrew initially used it. With this trap setup, again, that's one of the reasons why you don't sign stuff. Don't sign stuff. Never sign stuff. With the trap set up, Andrew tries to get Bambosh to sign more paperwork and commit the project to a new secret set of terms under a new previously undiscussed license. This is an intentional violation of the previously proposed schedule. Bambosh is only supposed to be doing a nominal interview here, not getting pressured to agree to a new set of terms. They're demanding a blank check before we even sit down to talk ideas. Basic divide and conquer, executed by someone whose goal turns out to be to conquer. Oh, on my birthday they were talking about this. 2023. I don't remember what I was doing 2023. Probably having a depression attack or some shit. Speaking of which, any paperwork updates for me yet? I know you were doing it staggered. Miles. Yeah, I think we might or may not be doing one more meeting with Bambosh, who has some paperwork of its own to look through before we move forward. Joe, but if that's unofficial collection related paperwork, that's usually something I deal with, and or with Bambosh, for your opinion. Bambosh. Yeah, that's kind of where the discussion's gonna go when I get back from lawyer stuff. Joe, but fake interview lawyer B. Bambosh. Like, even if the paperwork is good, I can't sign anything if I can't even talk it over with this guy here. Hey, but yeah, definitely talk with the real lawyers too. But yes, definitely talk with real lawyers too. And Miles. Yeah, we wanted to give you a chance to go. We wanted to give you a chance to go to like an actual legal expert who will be able to assure you that this license is legit. Lol. This dude is writing lol so much. It's like the biggest red flag. I would punch him in the face. Honestly. The manipulation and pressuring comes in a number of forms. Social pressures, pointing out the possibility of Vitz Media going after unlicensed work, and ultimately making their own direct legal threats. The line became that Bambosh had to sign a license before anything could continue. This is obviously untrue, not only because they just finished saying the opposite thing, but because the licensing details are heavily dependent on what the project is, which was yet to even be discussed. This time, it's not being used to try to continue project discussions without me or otherwise nudge me out of the project. Andrew is just blatantly trying to seize power via contract, and I'm being kept out to keep up the pressure and deny Bambosh any defense. Again, just do like Mike does. Lawyer. Just don't give them an inch. Don't give them a fucking pixel. They don't deserve it. Don't let them. It seems like Andrew was under the impression they could exploit Bambosh as a single point of failure who would be pressured into giving up the project. But that didn't work. And not just because Bambosh isn't a fool, but because that's simply not how the project is structured. Since we're co-owners, this cannot happen. Neither of us can make any major decision about the project without consulting with each other. Bambosh doesn't want to Bambosh doesn't want to and doesn't have the authority to. And we decided that way on purpose. Bambosh cannot legally sign anything without showing the paperwork to me, which Andrew insists that the NDA prevents him from doing. There is no play here. Neither of us could consent to any policy changes without the consent of the other, and an unilateral change in ownership was literally impossible. So, for an extended period of time, Andrew and Miles don't allow me to review the mysterious new document Andrew is demanding Bambosh sign. Bambosh can't sign them until I can review them. All progress is stonewalled by Hussie. By breaking procedure and trying to bully their way to power, Andrew has deadlocked the project. Oh, that is a good game. I like to play that game. Deadlock. Yeah, it's just dumb. again, why would you do that? Like, why are you being such a petty bitch? Like, why are you mad? Just pay them some $1,000 to give you the option to use the thing, man. It's not that hard. You're literally making printing money for nothing. You're just swimming on nothing. You have 2.5 millions that you use for a video game that is 2 hours long, and it could have been done in a quarter of the time and it's a 50th of the budget. I know, because Undertale came out. Ah, Jesus Christ. Oh, we're almost halfway through. Barry thanks. During this wheel spinning, Homestuck ramps up the pressure. Miles. Hey, sorry I'm finishing up some work shit, and just today I got back from vacation, so I've been catching up basically insofar as working with you guys and this goes. Nothing has changed. We're still amenable to your involvements on this, Joe, and although I've seen the tone get sort of legalacy, I want to emphasize that we'd still vastly prefer working with the unofficial collection to any sort of takedown bullshit. What the fuck? That's not at all what we want to happen. Yeah, so basically you're saying, you know, we want to work with you, but I didn't give you the NDA that you need to sign so you can work with us. But I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do. I don't want to take down your project. I really don't want to. But I'm not gonna give you anything to work with. Like, you can... why don't you just write up the waiver? Why don't you take the NDA that we gave you, like, the first time, the one that where you say, you will be our bitch, and you just sign that one and send it to me, and then we can strike the thing after. I'm just so swamped with work. Don't worry, just trust me. Just put on, I accept everything. My credit card information also, that's fine. We wanted it. It's to pay you, but also put the 3 numbers on the back. Don't forget about those. I can't send you the money without those. And yeah, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? It doesn't make sense. It's just saying, oh well, we can't work with you, but if we can't work with you because we're not doing anything to make you work with us, we're gonna sue you. We're gonna take down bullshit. Like, just give me the NDA! Cry it out loud! This is a huge shift that represents Homestuck completely backtracking on very assurance they've given up to this point. Suddenly, my involvement is something they're still amenable to, not something taken as a given. But most importantly, Homestuck has started brandishing legal threats as a weapon. Yeah, exactly. They've gone directly from, it's your baby, we don't want to do anything you aren't comfortable with, to, you can't either do work under whatever condition we dictate, or we'll personally attack you. From, I'd never hurt you, to, don't make me hurt you. This is a clear threat. This is grooming. This is actual toxic behavior. This is no longer about forgiving a collaborative relationship. They started waving around a loaded gun. Not the vacillation here. Vacillation here. They loved us before. Even if we just do what they say, now we'll say love, then they'll stop hitting us. Ah, truly a toxic relationship of the ages. Reality distortion as manipulation. But also pay attention on how this complete reversal of their position is presented explicitly as nothing has changed, even though this is obviously false. This gaslighting is part of the psychological manipulation I've come to realize is a weapon Homestuck considers to be one of its most vital tools. Homestuck chooses to work with people who are dependent on its good graces, whether it can orchestrate such a situation. This can come from hero worship, financial dependence, or threat of legal violence. But this upper hand Homestuck maintains allows it to get away with these constant reality distortions, even in cases like this where it's put everything in writing. If the victim calls them out on the lie, Homestuck is able to reverse victim and attacker and treat the objection as an aggression being made against Homestuck. And in almost all cases, Homestuck has set up legal traps that makes describing the lie to anyone else an offense in and of itself. Yeah, because of NDA. What a piece of shit. So Homestuck has gotten used to being able to distort reality like this whenever they want. It makes trying to seriously talk with Homestuck a truly absurd affair because they'll simply demand people accept false histories of things that just happen. Miles is able to transition seamlessly from, of course you need to sign. We agreed on the forum that's gonna take to, we aren't going to be getting any of this work done without you guys being under license. Well, like, just just let me work, man. Just let me do the thing that you told me to do. If you're not gonna eat it, I will eat it. Not because I enjoy it, but just to spite you.
Wow.
Oh, I needed this. Woo.
Fine.
Ah. I'm still not halfway through. Alright, don't make me hurt you. Meanwhile, Andrew has their lawyer load a cease and desist into the chambers so they can frame himself as delaying it. As if the lawyers is some uncontrollable attack dog they're holding back, rather than a professional they're actively paying to carry out his wishes. Lawyers don't randomly go around cease and desisting people on instinct. Talk with the Nintendo on that one. They do. Those hours are billable. Not only that, they are paid by every 10 minutes. It's not even 1 hour. It's 10 minutes. You send an email to your lawyer, they bill you. They bill you that. The majority of times they bill you that. If it's work. Because they had to go open and respond. So that's all time that they're taking from you. Man, what a fucking asshole. What fucking assholes lawyers are. For real. Pieces of shit. Anyway. If the lawyer is priming a cease and desist, it's because of their client's wishes to fire it to someone. Yes. This is an argument Homestuck makes a few times throughout this process. We don't want to sue you, but unless you agree to arbitrary demand, we will have to. It's a threat. But it comes in this extremely manipulative wrapper. Yeah, it is a very piece of shit way to do it. We're gonna have messages later. It's a familiar move in high-stakes legal brinkmanship. We don't want to go to court, but unless you agree to whatever demand, we all have no choice. It's not a casual remark. It's calculated to box the other side in. The harm is positioned as inevitable unless you concede immediately, and the blame for escalation is shifted entirely onto you. Yeah, basically you're saying, I don't want to press the trigger. I don't want to. Just do what I say. Come on. Just do it. Come on. You know, I don't want to. Oh, look. Oh. Come on, just do the thing. Just do the thing before. Oh, you're dead. Oh, poor guy. Basically dead. Miles. The caveat being that from the get-go, there has been a point that we need you guys to understand, which is that we aren't going to be getting any of this work done without you guys being under license. It's just not going to happen. Babush needs time to check with a lawyer, and so we're amenable to giving that time. And again, I think Andrew is, as we speak, instructing his lawyer to get the cease and desist delayed for a while. But the problem is that we've seen very little from your end that indicates you guys are, in fact, working with a lawyer, and it'd be really helpful for us to, talk to that guy so we can get this moving. Again, just call him out on this bullshit. Just say it. Just say it. Just go ahead and say, cease and desist are actively asked by the IP holder. The lawyer didn't wake up and said, I will see. It's a beautiful day outside. I will cease and desist someone. It's not how it works. The lawyer works for you and speaks for you. Therefore, I just go. But the cease and desist, you're the one that asked him, that asked the lawyer to make the cease and desist. Why did you do it?
Do you need more water?
I think you want it, right? I will get some more water after I end the stream. Don't worry about it, sweetie. The rhetorical trick here is to paint the threat as a reluctant. We really don't want to do this, but you're leaving us no choice. Yeah, as I said earlier with the gun. The damage becomes your fault for forcing their hand, even though the escalation was always part of the plan. It's a professional version of Don't Make Me Hurt You, played on in legalese and email threads instead of raised voices. Yeah, exactly. Wheel spinning. I pointed out the deadlock problem before, and as nicely as possible to point it again here. So let's read. Are there any problems with the lawyer on your end? Joban, I'm happy to review a license, and I actually have some constructive ideas along those lines of my own. But as long as I'm still locked out, we can't do anything. You're saying you're already working with cease and desist, even though you know we can't sign any licenses yet? I literally cannot even review one. I'm sure Bambosh has already explained this, but the way the project is structured, nothing can happen until we both involved in the decision-making process. Anything else is gridlocked. Miles, no. I'm saying that we're delaying a cease and desist that we have no intention of following through with because, again, we want to work with you guys. Then disband the cease and desist. Andrew's lawyer has it on the table because that's how lawyers operate. No, that's not. That's not. I promise you, that's not. Yeah, exactly. That's not. Can we talk? Can we get the legal here for a second? Can we pay 10 minutes? Donate to the stream to get legal for 10 minutes to show up and tell us. No, that's not how it works. Just 10 minutes. It will only take 5. Like, take 5 minutes. Not even 5. Like, hi, legal. How are you? Can you give us this response? Yeah, that's not how it works. We actively do this. Yeah, thank you, legal. We have another 8 minutes and 50 seconds to go with. Fellas, can you ask anything to legal? Legal, are you really an eagle? Or are you really illegal? And can eagles be legal? Or can legals be eagles? Like, what's the rules behind it? What? That the fuck? I don't get it. It's just so obviously untrue. How can this is just Tommy Tallarico again? I'm not kidding. These people lying so blatantly and so openly that people just don't fact check because everyone thinks no one would be this stupid to say something this obviously wrong. So easily debunkable. So I'm just gonna believe it because there's no way. And that's how they get you. That's how they get you. Anyway, because that's how lawyers operate. But Andrew is, again, probably literally as we speak, instructing the lawyer to back off on that. As for your involvement, running the project as a twosome, we get it. And as much now getting back, we can look into getting you under NDA, so you can mutually look over the license. But why are you waiting like 2 weeks? Just let me do it recently, man. November 15. Bro was under license on October. You made us wait a month and a half for changing one name on an NDA? Jesus Christ, dude. Just get out of the project. Let me do it. Let me do it at this point. Just get out. Get out. That's the door. Get out. You clearly don't know how to work. I'll do it. Just get out. I would never be able to do it because at the second time Hussie just treats me like shit, I would just say fuck you, you piece of shit. I'm gonna make a post canonizing the fact that Hussie in the comic is not actually Hussie, is his good brother Hisu, and you were never the real author of Homestuck. That's it. I'm gonna canonize you not being in the story. Why? Because fuck you. That's why. And then I just make the entire story. I would just remake it, all the places where a Hussie is in. I just replace it with a photo of, I don't fucking know, uh, JPEG Steve from Minecraft, and just say it's Steve that did it. And that's it. Anyway, just a few sentences later, Miles jumps back. So, oh no, you're right. The next thing that has to happen is for us to offer you an NDA. Wow, thank you, which exactly disproves his original threat. But those are the words he has to say, so he says them regardless. My understanding is that Andrew's lawyer is thought well of in his industry and has a reputation for being reasonable. He's not independently aggressive. He's acting here on the direct instruction of his client. Yeah, exactly. At the same time, the line is that Andrew is supposedly delaying legal action, but in reality, it's their decision to initiate it in the first place. It's obviously deeply manipulative for a Homestuck to talk about cease and desist like this. Yeah, exactly. It went seamlessly for an impossibility to something in the table, and even after loading the gun themselves and threatening to fire it, they're acting as if their lawyer is some wild beast Andrew is trying to rein it in and not a professional they are actively paying to be their agent. Like, again, your agent, your legal, your lawyer is like this. Fire them at that point. Oh yeah, this guy is just saying cease and desist here and there, everywhere. Like up and down, all around. He just wakes up, just sips some coffee, cease and desist. Just goes to the bathroom instead of taking the journal, the Daily Mail, just cease and desist. Instead of crosswords, cease and desist. Like, fire him. Just fire him. Okay, call the bullshit. Oh, we're not gonna be able to work together then. Which means that I'm calling your bullshit. Andrew is the one threatening to initiate legal hostilities against us if we don't write them a blank check. Literally, they're asking us to sign an agreement we can't read. Yes. There is also no our lawyer. Andrew has made it extremely clear I'm not to be involved in this stage, let alone legally. Again, legally, Bambosh can't tell me why talking to Andrew's lawyer has made him suddenly have to get counsel to review documents that are demanding he signs before we proceed. But what's happening is that they're pressuring him to sign some kind of hostile license. I'm only being included in the above thread, so there's an extra person to threaten. Mike knows perfectly well Homestuck tied my hands themselves. Yeah, that is just evil. That is just evil. I don't have anything to say. This predictably spins in circles without me ever being offered that NDA, of course, for a while until Andrew finally does send us a cease and desist. This still keeping me out of the conversation. Just send it. Hello, Brian McFarlane. Welcome. Wait, is that the real Brian McFarlane? The one that made the Family Guy? I'm checking if I'm actually... No, I think I'm wrong. That's not the name of the dude. What's this stream about? We're reading the big story about how Hussie can't keep up one of the biggest webcomic of all time up and scrambled the unofficial version to read it. When the unofficial version was more than happy to give power to Hussie themselves, not to give power, but to give them the assets required to put the stuff back online, officially speaking, which is evil. It's just evil. It's just wrong. Sorry, I got a couple of messages. I was just answering. Yeah, it's just a barnacle of a shit show from top to bottom. non-stop. But it's just sad. It's just sad. Basically, to keep our TLDR, because we've been here for 2 hours and we're still like halfway through. These two guys made a reader, basically like an emulator for webcomic instead of video games. Like instead of being an emulator for PS2, it's an emulator for the webcomic, and then you install the ROM, which is all the assets of the webcomic. And Hussie really didn't like it because one of the two creators was pretty openly critical of Hussie because Hussie is a control freak and an asshole. And now, as we are in the story right now, Hussie pushed one of the two people to sign an NDA to get into a project. I was watching your Cybernetic Experience. It's a good video. It's the only one that I made. I'm working on the sequel. I can tell you that, but it's taking a long ass time. Like two years. But I digress. In this moment, Hussie sent basically an invitation for the both of them, for Joe and the other to work with them. Put one under NDA, which the NDA would be like, you do everything that I want. And they said, nah. And they went, okay, yeah, NDA to talk about later, and then basically the later is, you do everything that I want. And he basically separated the two guys, so he could target the one that he doesn't actively hate in an effort to just kick the other one out. This is what is going on right now. And by doing so, they went from, oh, no, the thing that you've done is so cool, we would never send an NDA, we would never do anything bad, to, well, yeah, our lawyer actually created a cease and desist letter. We're just actively stopping him. We're just holding him like this. You should really sign that paper. We don't want to send the NDA, the cease and desist, but which is not real. It's not true. You actively have to go to the lawyer and say, yeah, write this down. Do this. Otherwise, that's not how it works. But yeah, that is where we are at right now. James and Beyond Canon teasers, January and February 2023. James Roach was ostensibly leading the Hiku. Hiku is Homestuck Interactive Community Union, if I remember correctly. Basically, a community project, somewhat official, but at the end of the day, it's not a union. It's just slaves. It's just slaves. Look at it. See union. Look inside slaves. That's it, basically. And his name was on the paperwork. We still hadn't talked about the unofficial Homestuck collection. They use UHC, which I'm gonna call the unofficial collection for simplicity's sake. But apparently he was still optimistic about the project, judging by him teasing it in some news post. We're not gonna talk about the Beyond Canon posts. Is the website going to be fixed? We're working on that. They're working on that. Yeah, we as in Joe, is working on that. That's us. Is the goal to use the collection to fix up the Homestuck website? Because again, the website is broken. We cannot use this the thing. There should be pictures here. There aren't. Is the goal to use the collection to fix up the Homestuck website? Who knows? Maybe. James refers here to the bit changes that allowed Andrew to involve themselves in this project. And hey, there's the commentary mentioned again on February 2024. The one I was most excited to announce is still being worked on. Some sort of legal continuation situation being hammered out. Boring. Yeah, Hussie. Oh, James, don't do that. Always nice to be appreciated. I hadn't yet spoken to James about any of this before, which always struck me as odd. He was the one leading the Hiku team. He was the one responsible for the project as a whole. His signature was on all the paperwork. Yeah, we never see James. We only saw Mike and Hussie talking as Mike. Like Hussie would just go like the goblin behind the back of Mike of Miles. My bad. Just and then Miles would just speak whatever the goblin is saying behind his head. Let's read on January 2024, February. James, how's the stuff going with the collection going? I was looking forward to telling the community about that. I think a lot of people would be really excited. Jovan, I saw your new news post. James, I don't really like ask about how things are going if they don't directly involve me. Wow. Jovan, yeah, I'm assuming you're not familiar with the details then, but right now, from what I've been told, things are locked up with lawyers for some reasons. James, ain't just that the way. Well, it'll sort itself out. Jovan, to my understanding is there is not much that can happen until I sign an NDA, which makes total sense. But they haven't sent me one yet, so we're stuck at the moment. Yeah, it has been 5 months so far. Are you fucking kidding me?
Wow.
Can't believe I'm the only one here. Was there other people here? Yes, there were. The messages delete themselves after 2 minutes. Some people join and go away, but usually there's not much people. Don't worry, like 1 or 2 people. Were there people? Yes, there were. Also because usually I stop streaming at this hour, but I want to finish this thing. We're on May, June 2024. We're almost there. We're almost halfway through. For real, for real. Jamie had some high-level knowledge that things were in talks, but I didn't get the sense that knew any details or how things had turned sour. Of everyone involved, it seems like he should be the most motivated to make sure this was working well. Yeah, exactly. He's supposed to be the head of the thing. He's supposed to. Give me a minute. People texting me and other stuff. I want to finish this, then I will answer. Eventually, Andrew's unfulfillable demands on Bambush passed the breaking point as Andrews just directly started threatening imminent legal action. Holy shit! Holy shit, what the fuck is going on here? Alright, let's read. Miles. Hey guys, not super happy I have to reach out like this, but this is looking like, oh, it's May 7th. But this is looking like this is where this needs to go. I want to preface this by saying that I'm not really interested in opening up a discussion tonight. So I'd like you to read this message and just think of what it is we have to say before you guys respond. We can talk more on the coming days if you want, but everything that needs to be said vis-a-vis our point of view is going to be said now. Andrew, Homestuck Legal Counsel, and I all feel your lawyer is essentially just stalling around, and we've been making absolutely no meaningful progress. I still can't fucking read the thing that you told me that I have to sign. Just give me the fucking NDA, man. It's been almost a year. At this point, I just ask, hey, dude, my colleague, just give me your NDA. Just get the NDA PDF changer. Just change the name of the dude. Just put my name, sign the NDA, send it to them. Like, there, let's talk. Fuck it. I don't fucking care at this point. You didn't do it, I did it. If anything, you should be happy that I'm working towards your bullshit to just get to your thing that you want me to do. For free, too. Oh, fuck. This is actually making me mad. I would have punched this dude at the fuck. Alright, I'm back. I had to see how Bonk was made. From the balls. Bonk is made from the balls. That's how. I can tell that much. Isn't that mad milk? No, mad milk is made by the knees. But that's why it's not real milk. It's not lactose. I don't know if there's the saying about milk. Your legs doing milk. Because here we say ashto lattico, which is milk. It's basically, it sounds like milk. Lattico, latte, it sounds like milk. That's why. Anyway, we think your lawyer is doing shit. Which honestly feels like a tactic you guys are playing while you try to work something else out. Communication is way too sparse to get anything productive done. We haven't heard anything at all from your lawyer in 3 weeks, all while Andrew's lawyer has been pinging him weekly and getting ghosted more often than not throughout this entire process. And we're getting fed up with it. Just give me the fucking NDA, man. I'll just go, just give me the NDA. At this point, we're interested in only 3 courses of action from you, which are essentially non-negotiable and need to be happen within about a week. You get your lawyer to get back in touch with us seriously in a way that actually leads to anything getting done. You cite the current version of the license as drawn up and presented by Andrew Hussie. I'm not gonna give you the license! You look like Red Shell. I never got that actually. Let me check Red Shell. Wait, I look like this dude? Not to say anything bad about this dude. Nothing against this dude, but I don't really see it. Do you see it?
No, I don't see it. I don't.
You don't? Okay, thank God.
I don't.
Nothing against the dude. I just don't like that face. Dude looks cool though. Dude looks based. Oh no, he played High on Life. Nah, that dude's is cringe. Said the guy that plays TF2 in 2025. He reads about Homestuck drama in 2025. Jesus Christ. Anyway, you either get your lawyer to get back to us and just say, yes, Lord, we'll do as you say. You signed the version of the license that you cannot read. Just send us a signature, an empty signature. We'll put it on the documents ourselves. If you don't do either of the above, we start moving to issue a strike against the unofficial collection, take it down, and replace it with a similar tour of our own design. We'd rather things didn't have to go to the option 3 route at all, but we feel that you guys have made a process that should honestly have been a fairly simple and extremely drawn-out affair, eating up over half a year. You didn't give me the NDA! God damn it! Time we could have been collaborating productively. All things considered, the offers we already made in terms of keeping you guys on the project, onboarding you to work with Homestuck and the Hiku, licensing you, and paying you have been extremely generous considering you've been publishing a giant horde of almost the entirety of Andrew's work with no permission whatsoever. Buddy, you didn't really pay me! You really can't do anything in the Big 25. Yeah, I mean, look, Homestuck is coming back in 2025. Like, we're having a recession. An economic recession. Greeting, fellow homes. What the fuck is it so hot outside? I know, right? It was 40 degrees outside today. Have I already told you that like father from Raised by Wolves? I'd never seen that. I don't know if it's a compliment or an insult. I hope it's a compliment. I'm gonna take it as a compliment. Like, it feels like we're... I don't think it's... wait, Raised by Wolves? No, it's a series, Raised by Wolves. Like, the guy is telling me, you sounds like character from show. Yeah. Rebecca is here. She's playing Pokemon Emerald on the bed. Like the fucker she is. Anyway.
Hey!
Anyway, let's continue to get mad at this shit. All things considered, the offers are already... Oh, by the way, they said, oh, we're gonna pay you. They never paid. They never paid so far. Never paid. You know I was kidding, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. She did hey! Like, okay, for a second I was getting scared that she was actually angry. All things considered, the offers we already made in terms of keeping you guys on the project, onboarding you to work with Homestuck and the Hiko, license you, and pay you have been screaming. I'm getting mad on this. To say nothing of Gio's harmful behavior towards the Hiveswap team that Andrew was nonetheless fully looking to look past. So you were still mad about it. You brought it up. You're a little bitch. Raised by Wolves is worth watching. Do it. It's what Ridley Scott wanted to do while making Prometheus, which means it's awesome and you don't hope for an alien popping up. Oh, Ridley Scott made it. Raised by Wolves is what Ridley Scott wanted to do while making Prometheus. Wait, is the Prometheus is it Ridley Scott, the one that did us a contract with Disney, asking to have Disney pass, like a pass for the whole family, for Disneyland, like forever, everything free, and then he brought the family, and the family was like, the staff was like, nah, this doesn't work. He called the Disney and said, hey, the pass that it was in the contract wasn't doesn't work. What the hell? And Disney just answered, you got enough money out of it. Who fucking cares? And he just went, called his lawyer, be like, or his agent, and went, give me a contract with Netflix. I'm leaving. Prometheus is the Alien prequel. No clue about any Disney contract. I'm not in Boulevard. I don't know, man. I know about this story because it was funny as fuck, but I don't remember. No, it wasn't him. It was someone that made a lot of good shows in the 2000s. Anyway, let's continue getting mad at this. We all sorts of dance around this, as you two were consistently trying to pull Gio into talks before we were comfortable. But it's something we all knew, and to be clear, it is something we are going to expect Joe to own up to and make amends on if we're going to continue working together. So you're literally saying the thing that I said, just to give context, because you guys weren't here when I covered this. The Hive Swap, aka the Kickstarter that took $2.5 billion in 2012 or 2013, I don't remember. Let's check. The thing was supposed to be done in June 20... there we go. December 2012. So it was done in 2012. In 2025, there's only two acts. Act 2 has been out for 5 years. And by that time, Undertale got a Kickstarter. Undertale came out. Deltarune Chapter 1 came out. Deltarune Chapter 2 came out. And Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4... No, Chapter 3 and 4 didn't come out yet. I wish you could watch this in 2 times. I'm sorry. You can watch the VOD if you want. I don't mean it in a bad way. For real.
Maybe you should do part 2.
No, I want to finish this. I need to finish this. Honestly speaking, Andrew's lawyer actually advised us before we even reached out to you initially to not even bother with any of this. Copyright strike it and be done with it. Oh, just now it's the lawyer that said, no, just kill them. Just kill them on the spot. What the fuck, man? Who are you working with, Satan? Just to fire the lawyer, man. He said Andrew wanted, and still wants, to reach out and do something with you guys. But Andrew already said that he hates me. So why would he do that? Stop putting it as it's so good, I'm so good of a person. Action speaks louder than words, Andrew. I know you love words a lot. You put like 1,600,000 of them in Homestuck. But action speaks louder. And this action are you being a pitch. A pitch on how to be an asshole-ish person. Considering all of the above, however, and the way all our offers were essentially met with stalling and a lack of willingness to commit or to even have your lawyer communicate with ours in a timely manner, this is essentially the last chance we are willing to give you guys. In the event that you two decide to not play ball here, it's looking highly likely that we're just going to have to make moves to quickly copyright strike the unofficial collection, remove it, and replace it with a tool of our design. It will inconvenient to have to do this, and the fans are going to be upset because the tool is great, but we can't whip up a new one pretty easily if we need to. Then just do it! It's not that like the site has been broken for fucking 10 years by now. Just do it. If it is so easy, just do it. Fuck you. We would still rather just work with you and the tools that already exist. That said, we are at the point where we feel like you're either not taking this seriously or angry to leverage this in a way that we find unacceptable. We have given you ample time, opportunity, and consideration, and we feel like you returned that courtesy with a lack of effort to our faces and what we are stating to assume And what we're starting to assume, as mentioned previously, is some attempt to spin this in a way that is advantageous for you. Oh, so projecting, like projecting fallacy. Can we just get a list of fallacies on the side, and we just do match the fallacy with the phrase? I'm sure they just went to Wikipedia, just saw the list, and just say one of these, and just took the entire list and slapped it onto this. I need to be clear here. There is no such spin. No, there is a spin, I can tell you. I mentioned before that if we have to take this down, we know the fans of Homestuck and of your tool are going to be upset. But if it has come to pass, we aren't going to be shy about explaining the fandom at large why is it we weren't able to work together, and we are going to work as quickly as we can to provide them with a replacement ourselves. The long and short of it is that we reached out in good faith to you guys, offered you a license, and you sat on it for 8 months. You never gave me an NDA and let me read it! I can't sign something that I can't read. I'm not a 2-year-old. Why are you just dragging this out of this phrase any longer? Read this again, think of it, and please get back to us soon. Why don't you just eat a bag of dicks? The accusations here are all nonsense, of course. It's a description of what reality would have to be for them to be in the right, presented as if the fiction were given. There is no our lawyer. Bambush personal legal representation explained to them he wasn't able to unilaterally sign a document in secret, and Andrew simply refused to hear it. Yeah, like the lawyer went, he can't sign it by himself. And Andrew, but he needs to. It's the heavy is heavier than feathers. Like steel is heavier than feathers. Andrew is literally doing that. Like lawyer is explaining, yeah, but they weigh the same. They're one half and half. You need both. And he goes, but Bambush is heavier than Joe. Bambush should sign, therefore. That's it. That's the thing. It's not true that they ever offer us anything. And once again, Andrew is trying to good cop, bad cop themselves by claiming they are against all the legal proceedings they've started and that they aren't making the threats they're making. Saying at the end that they are acting in good faith, which is not true because they're fucking assholes. They keep trying to complain about delays, even though the project has been held up by them on every stage. We didn't need an NDA to talk about the project. There was clearly no NDA required for the unofficial collection to operate well and collaborate with other talent, as evidenced by the fact that we've already been doing it successfully for years. Almost every delay has been and will be from something expensive they tried to impose. Look, I can understand being, okay, you need to sign the NDA to talk about this project. We want to talk about a project, just sign the NDA. NDA, 1 page. The guy acknowledges that he should not share any information talked in this chat and these talks about projects, blank, period. That's it. Like, you could write it up in 2 days, sign it the day after, and talk on the same day that you get it. Like 3 days. 8 months! Most importantly, the reason no progress has been made and license has been signed is neither Bambush or I can unilaterally sign a license without the other. Something we repeatedly explained and Miles had acknowledged. Communication is sparse because they force it to be. In the same breath, he complains about insufficient communication. Miles manages to also complain about our making them uncomfortable by trying to talk, presenting communication as an offense. So, don't talk with us. You're not talking with us, but whenever you're talking with us, you talk with us, and that's bothering us. Communication is sparse because they force it to be. In the same breath, he complains about insufficient communication. Miles manages to also complain about our making them uncomfortable by trying to talk, presenting. We already read that. We have only ever tried to work towards cooperation while they try to put leverage on us. And yet, Homestuck tries to spin it as us leveraging them. Importantly, we got legal action followed by replacing it with a several tool of our own design presented explicitly as a threat. As presented, the primary purpose of a future official collection without our involvement would be a punishment to spite the unofficial collection, not to serve as a real tool. Yeah, exactly, and they're not able to do it. And on top of that, Homestuck is trying to redefine its relationship with me yet again, now that we're never willing to work together unless I made amends for some ambiguous, harmful behavior no one has ever been able to explain. Yeah, just because I call you out on your bullshit because you didn't work on the thing. It's like you guys calling me on my bullshit. Hey, Zell, you said that the Caber Knight, the sequel of the Caber Knight video was gonna come out 6 months after the Caber Knight experience. Where is it? I'm still working on it. I haven't worked on it much. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna say I procrastinated a lot. Like, a lot. Like, I got a lot of, how you say it? Imposter syndrome. I hated every single version of my recordings. The one that I'm using included. And I kept doing and removing them. And every time I would get angry, frustrated, and I would not work on the project for a fuck ton of time. That's why. The project probably has like 3-4 months worth of work to go from 0 to finished. It's been 2 years. I still haven't done it. It's all my fault. And I apologize. And I'm still gonna take a fuck ton of time because it's not my main source of revenue. I have to go to work. And I also do it on the side. And it also needs to be something that I do for fun. Which means that I have to do it very on and off, very off. Because I'm not patient and I get angry very easily. It's all stuff that it stops me. But it's all my fault. I'm not gonna try to hide it. I'm not gonna try to spin it. It's all me. You don't spin it like, oh no, it's somebody else's fault. Oh, it's all your fault when this shit happens. And in this case, my fault. Gotta own up to my mistakes. I wouldn't bother to let myself slow down to refute obvious falsehood, except that it's important to show how Miles and Andrew slide seamlessly into threats and ultimatums. Nothing he's saying is true, and he's just forcing his way through it. There is a complete disinterest in integrity. It's dismissively thrown to the side in order to pursue threats and bully tactics. The net results of all of this was that Andrew Hussie's behavior was so egregiously bad, he chased Bambosh off his own project. Andrew isolated Bambosh and subjected him to intense bullying and pressure tactics, and it was disturbing to see even from the outside. So, for legal purposes, Bambosh disconnected himself from the project on June 18, just before Andrew could actually sue him. This left me fully responsible to handle things from here. Oh no, Bambosh! No. Bambosh, here's my response. I developed this project out of a love for Homestuck. I put everything I had into it to create the version of Homestuck I wanted to exist. This project was for me above anyone else. And the fact that it resonated with the larger community was always less important to me than the fact that I enjoyed developing it. Once I released the 1.1, it was pretty much spent. I was pretty much spent. I put everything I had into the project. I wanted to move on. The only thing keeping me attached to the project so far has been Joe's involvement. If he hadn't stepped in, I would have been stagnant. It would have been stagnant since 2020. He has contributed to every single piece of code to the project since the version of 1.1, and written more code in total for the project than I did. Discarding all external context, I personally owe him a great deal for doing a massive amount of unpaid work for my project. I didn't get to see this message until more than a year later, but it's very sweet. Seriously, Bambosh, what a guy. Aww. This is why I've been hesitant to proceed without him. After everything he's done for me, I believed it was the right thing to do to figure out what his place would be in the project before proceeding. You've claimed this to be a good faith outreach. Don't close the door, sweetie. And I was generally excited to join in. Redacted. Conversation regarding particular interaction. Every time I've tried to talk like a reasonable human being, you've shut it down. Every interaction we've had has been a thinly veiled legal threat towards me. I would think the fact that I've been spending my limited personal funds on a lawyer to engage with you on your terms would be enough to demonstrate that I really, really wanted to make this work, but apparently not. I developed this project out of a love for Homestuck, and thanks to this entire negotiation, that love does not exist anymore. Aww. Frankly, every time I think about the shit you've tried to pull over me in this negotiation, I feel physically ill. Frankly, every time I cannot imagine a world in which I sign this contract and can just resume business as usual. The moment has passed. You've beaten the motivation out of me. So, you're getting what you want. I'm taking the project down and abdicating all responsibility for it. I don't want anything to do with it anymore. You guys can just make your own version. I wish you the best of luck. Don't contact me again. Jesus Christ. That was one of the two mistakes you can make here. Aww. Joera. You will be missed. You will be missed, Bambosh. I have to keep going back and read the names because I'm bad at remembering. And now it goes to the real shit, sadly. Joera. So, I became the primary maintainer of the project, and Hussie hates this guy, so that's gonna be fun. If I were reasonable, I would have stopped there. Andrew and Miles had already been caught in enough lies that it was obvious that they weren't willing to engage in good faith, especially with me. The unofficial Homestuck collection doesn't support me financially in any way, so to keep trying to work with these people meant taking on legal and financial risk with no real possibility of reward. Best case scenario, I would continue to do valuable work for the Homestuck brand for free. If they had been working with someone without my extraordinary patience, their behavior would have blown this up already. In fact, they were working with someone without my extraordinary patience previously, and they did in fact just blow that one up. So it's not a hypothetical. Andrew had burned through their best shot, but I could still manufacture one last chance for them to be reasonable. Just once, for their own good. But my heart was pure and my cause was righteous, so I gave it one more shot. I decided that I'm going to be as amenable as anyone possibly could be, and if they turn nasty again, I'd be them turning nasty again. It'd be them turning nasty again. Basically, if they're gonna be assholes, they're gonna be assholes. And at the very least, I'd get to see them do it. I decided to play it out. If they were going to attack us, I wouldn't be able to stop them. But I determined the project wouldn't collapse because I didn't want to do the lack of work. Fucking based, Jova. Fucking based. Make it nice to me. What happens next is fascinating. They reset the board and try to run the cycle a second time. Hey man, do you have some time to chat? Jovan, obviously you know Bambosh dropped out, and I wasn't privy to the details on exactly why that happened, but I'm still amenable to talk. That's just where I'm at right now, Miles. So, to sum up what happened, Andrew decided today that he wanted Bambosh to sign the license. And he's frustrated. Unfortunately, the results of our conversation with Bambosh tonight was that Bambosh said he wants to wash his hands of all this, and he torched the unofficial collection off GitHub, took it down, etc. I remember this. I remember this happening. I wasn't active in the community, but I remember that. I didn't know any of this, obviously. So, to be clear, he dropped off the project and left the codebase to me. Everything still exists, but I'm leaving it down temporarily while we sort things out. Miles. Okay, that's excellent to hear. Like, again, I want to be 100% real with you here. It sucks that the unofficial collection is down right now for the fans, but it also sucks to me on, like, a personal level. Insofar as I never ever wanted Bambosh or you to feel like you were trying to punish or to be assholes about this. Like we were to be assholes. No, you were. You didn't want to make them feel like you were trying to punish them. You wanted them to be punished, period. I know the communication has been nightmarish. Miles, the fact that this might have really hurt Bambosh's feelings sucks. I think he's a good guy, and we value his love for Homestuck. Not enough to, not be fucking assholes about it, but whatever. Yeah, anyway, like, last thing before we move on to a little business, I just want him to know that, I guess, Andrew has been frustrated. We had to move in very official, stern, and sometimes cold ways, and I want him to understand that, like, Real people behind this do not want him to feel fucked up about this, and do not want him to feel like forced out. But he was. You did it. You literally did. Ah, fuck you. For my part, I explained the picking up of the pieces, which Homestuck didn't seem to understand. Namely, we transferred my maintainership of the project. Also, as soon as Bambush was out of the picture, Miles immediately rubber bands back to fawning. We're so sorry if you felt stressed, we didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, etc. He would go so far as, we have to be cold here. Nobody had to be anything. Andrew left the project alone for years. Then they decided they wanted it and started throwing punches. Their obviously neutral stance would be to simply stop making demands. But Andrew always goes out of their way to pretend that isn't a possibility. I know the concern for Bosch isn't true. I see the attempts at manipulation. It's fucking gross. Yeah, the fucking isn't there. I will put it. Putting out the fire. Start explaining my basic position. Miles sprints back to being the worst, kindest puppy salesman. Also, Jovan. Also, while we're being frank, your Discord server Wasteland. From which franchise is the Wasteland? My franchise. Not the Fallout one. That would be an actual funny one. We can't have fun here. We're watching stuff that makes me angry. So no fun. No fun allowed. Also, while we're being frank, Miles, of course, Jovan, I think that pragmatically, it's not actually to my advantage to try to keep engaging constructively here, because I'm going in blind and there are already hurt feelings and takedown threats sitting around. Like, there are already takedown threats on the other thread, and I'm signing up to be the fall guy here. Miles. So let's talk about that a little. Jovan. But I still see it as win-win here that I'd actually really like to see happen. So I'm choosing to take the riskier path here instead of just closing up shop. Miles, I appreciate that. So, like, let me get into logistics a bit. But before I do that, I want to emphasize one more thing that, like, I don't know how else to say this, but I'm just going to speak as me and not as, like, a representative of anything. Oh, I can't see anything. So I guess stuff that we cannot see. Like, just put redacted. So, to segue from personal to business, Jovan, I have some basic ideas for the next steps, but I'll let you go first. Miles, what's happening right now is that obviously the unofficial collection is down. I'm really, really happy that Bambush didn't just torch everything, because it's a fucking cool tool and we've always wanted to work with it. Jovan, my current plan is for it to not go away if possible. Miles, okay, that's ours as well. Yeah, you just basically beating a man back into a pulp. The man took everything down and he went, oh fuck, oh no. And they go to the guy that they actively hate. They're like, you have a version of it, right? Like, you have a version of it, right? And Joe is like, yes, I do. Like, oh, thank God. The other dude took everything down. We thought everything was fun. I mean, yeah, we want to work with you. We're so sorry that dude got beaten into a pulp. We don't know what happened. We feel very sorry just cleaning the blood out of their hands. Just fucking assholes. Great. They want the collection to keep existing for sure. But this has been the most consistent part of their position all along. They love the thing, but things get real weird real quick because Homestuck just can't help himself. Alright, let's check. Oh, it's literally just right after. Now, what's gonna happen is that as of right now, Andrew is invoking copyright strike to keep the Homestuck collection down. The unofficial collection down. Even though we didn't want it offline today, if we could help it. What I'd like you to understand up front, though, is that Andrew making that move legally and officially does not mean he wants it down forever. He and I are one mind, and we'd rather keep working with it. So what's going to happen right now is that tomorrow, Andrew's lawyers are gonna get in touch with you. Do you have a legal representation yet? Jovan, so issuing a cease and desist before we even talk definitely seems like a step in the wrong direction. And yes. Miles, great! Just completely ignore the fact that he said, dude, this is a fucking red flag right off the get-go. Like, great! Great, you have a legal representation. We're gonna siphon away some of your money. Let me talk to Andrew about the cease and desist because I kind of agree. But what he chooses to do with that is ultimately up to him, and I have no say in this final call. Not what his legal team wants to do. But I want to be 100% clear here. What we want to do is start working out the process of getting the unofficial collection back up, get you licensed, maybe Bambush as well if he's open to coming back, and then get things moving again. Bambush is a fucking pulp! He's not gonna coming back. He's fucking dead. Not literally, but here, regarding this project, he is. He's dead. There is no godbands to bring it there and make him come back alive. That only people that write Homestuck understand that. He's gone. Since we already saw a Steven Universe reference, just killed the pink Steven and go, he's gone! I couldn't scream higher. I'm sorry. I wanted to go full lungs, but I would get so many noise complaints. That's not funny. Oh yeah, we're here. Like, Jovan, like, making legal demands is a really wholesale move. Not something you do automatically just to do it. I don't know what you can, that I can just coexist with that. Miles. So let me talk to Andrew tonight to see where he lands on that. But let me be clear on this, because I keep getting distracted, making other points. What other points? I Google Homestuck and start reading. Yeah, let's start reading Homestuck. Let's go homestuck.com. Where do I click? Oh, read Homestuck. Oh, Paige is dead. And Paige is dead. Paige is dead. Paige is dead. Oh man. Let's see the games. Oh, Paige is dead. Let's go to the shop. I want to buy something. This site really needs it. Books? I can't. Merch? I can't. Music from Tommy Fox? I can't. Read? This site died. Like, this site actually died. It can now hold one viewer. Like, all you had to do is just let them do their work. All you had to do was just say, hey, we want you to remove the U from UHC. All. We want to make it we want to make it official. We want to keep it free. You're not gonna get a single cent out of it. You're not gonna get a single cent out of it. It's gotta be official under the UCL, the legal thing that we read and saw, the 3.0, basically saying, oh yeah, you can do whatever, but it has to stay free. That's it. That's it. That's literally free money. A solution for your site that hasn't worked for 10 years. Not 10 years, like 8 years. Whatever. Like, really making demands. Yeah, we read this. We got this. Gentlemen, I'm good to move forward cooperatively as long as nobody starts launching attacks. But if that happens, that's a big deal. Miles. So, like, we're still open to work with you specifically. This CD thing was in place before any of us were aware. Oh, this cease and desist thing was in place before any of us were aware if you'd want to work with us. So you were already thinking about striking me, even though you said that you weren't going to. So we can come to a conclusion on that as soon as tonight. But yeah, if Babush is out, he's out. If he wants to come back, we'd be happy to have him again. Because again, it's important he knows that we actually straight up do value him. But if he wants to wash his hands on this, it's regrettable but understandable. Yeah, he's dead. But it looks like, I think Andrew is amenable to keeping the legal action off the record for now, which is great. I agree that if we're just gonna be working together, there's really no need to go right at that. If you like, I can ask him that in no uncertain terms right now. Jesus Christ, calm down. Jovan, basically, my offer is that I'm still willing to go forward in good faith so long as we're all friendly and no one is making legal threats. But like, the threat of a lawsuit is a really big deal and doesn't just happen casually. So let's do whatever we can do to avoid that. Because if there is a real deal cease and desist that I'll have to act on. I'll have to act on it and cease and desist. And then I'll have to explain what happened. And that's the lose, lose, lose scenario. Well, oh, wow. I really wish that Dell won't do a stream where he reads this resolution. Oh, wait. Foreshadowing is a literary. Miles. So, I do understand that Andrew is gonna want to work legally with a capital L with you on some kind of framework going forward for no other reason than to address the past blood. But I just talked with him about the cease and desist, and he's agreed that there's no reason to do a copyright strike if you're willing to move forward with us, sign an NDA, and work on getting licensed. To be clear, Andrew is fine dropping the NDA for now. Yay. Which is good. Obviously, lol, if you say lol when starting this, you're manipulative. Again, we already tried to... Welcome back, Brian. We already tried to do threads, as you said. It's a total waste of everyone's time. We just want to get it set up in a way Andrew is comfortable with. Yeah, just start you know, work the shaft. That's basically what Andrew is saying. If you think it's bizarre for someone to say they're glad they're working with you, but also want to immediately threaten a lawsuit, it's because you're right. This is the main recurring theme again. Andrew continually trying to get me legally on a leash while I force a smile and politely yet firmly refuse to color myself. Good. You leave the colors in the bedroom. I'm not sorry for that shitty joke. The cease and desist here is the one they were about to attack Ambush with. I almost didn't catch it, but Miles drops this CD things was in place before any of us were really aware to want to work with us. Meaning that this whole friendly call-up approach was alive from the very beginning. I called it. Fucking called it! I have to spell out that the collaborative partnership they insist they still want is incompatible with them exerting legal force. Because why would you? Oh yeah, we're gonna be friends. I'm gonna stab you though. Are we gonna be friends? No, you stab me. Ah, you're a piece of shit. I'm gonna stab you again. Like, what the fuck, man? You're not a cool goth again there. You can't just do that. If you get in the goth maid suit, maybe people will let you do that, but not like this. Yeah, basically they won't. Okay, my consistent position. Okay, but what am I thinking here? Given how antagonistic and aggressive Andrew has really been, why am I playing this through instead of just letting Andrew very publicly dig their own grave, as they keep threatening to do? It's still the same Scorpion and the Frog dynamic, except they're already down a frog and a Homestuck stinger is already being brandished again. Homestuck isn't going to be nice to Joe. Is he stupid? Maybe. No, without a maybe. Just E. E for yes. And also, just so you know, the author is a piece of shit. The comic is still good. I still love the comic. I don't care. I'm still gonna read the comic. I'm just gonna put a big ass thing on top of the stream. Like, I do not support the creator. If I act like a glutton for punishment, that's basically because my goal really was to work together and produce something cool and valuable, not to get some cheap shot ramp points. Even if Andrew had a tantrum they wanted to throw, maybe James would be there to put a hand on their shoulder. Heck, maybe once Andrew's lawyer is in the room, he'll be the responsible one to temper Andrew with sound legal advice. Ha! Why would they? They get paid by just letting the client do whatever they want. But if I knew they were going to blow it up, they were going to blow it up. I was not going to allow anyone any leeway to claim that somehow I was too demanding. I'm keeping everything scoped strictly to the collection project because that's what was agreed on, and that's what allows us to work in the first place. Above all, I'm going to be professional. I still find myself trying to make excuses for Andrew. They're Andrew. They are the god king of fiction. Which, yeah, nothing to say against that. I agree with this. For Homestuck specifically, nothing else. I know because they wrote themselves that way. That's why I let this stretch on for as long as I did at my own detriment. part of why I let this stretch on for as long as I did to my own detriment was to really definitively prove it to myself that this wasn't just in my head. I'm a scientist, and that means evidence before conclusion. And every blow I took was evidence. If I were trying to farm offense, I'd have them dead on rights since the first takedown threat. But that's never been me. I really did want to see them do this right, if they possibly could. In stark contrast to Andrew, I have no threats to make and no special pressure I can put on them. If I gave Homestuck every measure of grace anyone could give, would that be enough? Or was Homestuck fully radioactive? Radioactive. Oh, oh, oh. Back to work. June, July 2024. So with a pointless cease and desist off the table, we talk about how we could productively move things forward. Homestuck went back to lovely doubly. Joe, to talk shop for a second, I see basically two separate projects here. Licensing the collection so it's not a risk is one, and then whatever further collaboration, example official version of the website work, is another. Miles, and preferably get the unofficial up ASAP. We can talk the deeds of that going forward. Like, after the NDA, getting the license up is literally first thing on our list. Yeah, just give us your soul. That is the first thing to do. All other projects we do with Chow would be happening under that framework. Oh yeah, so I was saying, in summary, Andrew and lawyers will reach out to you and lawyers soon to get started on talking about the terms under which we'd like to work together. Once those terms are set, which we really hope doesn't take too long for the reasons we laid out already, the unofficial collection will be licensed and become the official collection or something like that. We can play around with it. And then we settle a few new things as we figure out the workflow situation with the unofficial/official Homestuck collection, and then begin a new project. Because again, we fucked with the tool mega heavily and are excited for new stuff to happen. Just these guys are so shameless. You guys are so evil. It's almost funny. I don't have any more jokes. Finally, despite the threat of having lawyers send me a cease and desist order mere minutes ago, Homestuck made it overwhelmingly clear that they wanted me to continue to keep their collection up for now. I did too, of course. But getting explicit permission from Homestuck means they can't turn around and threaten me of copyright infringement because I was acting how they asked me to. So this was a step in the right direction. Yeah, you're right, actually. I didn't realize that. Good job, dude. You're smarter than I am. I mean, of course, you created the unofficial Homestuck collection, which is fucking biased. I mean, based. It wasn't a joke. I chose the wrong word. Jovan, I'm still pondering whether the replacement is the best option. We'll talk and do whatever makes sense. Depends if he's looking for something very different or basically the same. But that's Deets. Miles, for sure. In the immediate, we'd actually want to keep the unofficial up or get it back up ASAP if possible, because none of us wants to punish the fans for this. NDA will be the first step. Yeah, we already read that. I will see about spinning up a mirror. Alright, awesome. Okay, Juba. Okay, everything should be totally continuous now, just with the name changes. I also want to avoid panic so long as nothing's actually going wrong. Miles, yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, getting it up again is fine for now. We'll figure out its final zone later, but it'll be good to have it available for folks now. So, right now, I'd prefer if there was a minimal to no public communication of this beside what's absolutely necessary. Gilbert, as far as I'm concerned, all we're done is change the project maintainer. Miles, wonderful. Gilbert, I 100% agree that having to announce at any point that we're shutting down because we had legal action taken against us is the bad end, and I'll put in work to avoid that. As previously discussed, Jova is being fucking amazing. Just in front of them, just saying, yeah, it's big. Yeah, it's big. Don't fuck with me. Yeah, you saw it. You saw the merchandise. It's best if you don't touch it. Miles is overwhelmingly clear about Homestuck position here. They want the collection to stay up because it's the only way to read Homestuck. They want me hosting the website and the asset pack, and my doing that constitutes actively working with them. We also have a schedule now, which is the same schedule from before. Sign an NDA, work with Andrew to agree on a license, which Miles also refers to as terms, and happy collaboration forever. Different NDA signed. Yeah, another NDA on June 2024. The reason I'm able to bring details past this point to light is that the NDA they sent me next was not the Hiku community release agreement that included the overbroad NDA designed to stifle communication, but an entirely different standard module NDA suitable for protection of creative and technical data. When they finally sent me an NDA, I signed that quickly. It is properly scoped and covers a broad category of creative information I'm not allowed to discuss if Homestuck Inc. shares it with me. I would not be able to leak you details I learned from the Beyond Canon's writer's room, for instance, which is alright, I don't care about that, but it does not generally silence me from talking about my experience, or prevent me from talking about information I had prior to the NDA. I was extremely careful about verifying this with my lawyer before signing, because I know about Andrew's tendency to try to abuse NDAs. Oh really? We only saw like him abusing it for 8 fucking months. I don't know why they switched out the forms like this. Maybe it was to ensure I still couldn't compare notes with Bambush or other Hiku members. Maybe it was to keep me at arm's length from the rest of the Hiku group. Maybe it was to further an ongoing campaign to try to strangle me from the larger fan community by preventing me from calling myself a Hiku member. Well, that's for the best, actually, dude. For real. Maybe it was just to make sure nothing I signed committed them to treat me fairly. Whatever the reason, I was never going to agree to something that would tie my hands in the event of this kind of contingency that demands transparency into the proceedings. And I was careful to ensure I did not do so. So this also worked out. Yeah, it's a win-win for you. As soon as they get my signature, Andrew refuses to call me by my chosen name and instead uses my full legal name wherever they possibly can. Notably, they do not do this for Bambush or anyone else. Apparently, they've been using my legal name with other people before I told them, meaning they've been digging up info of my identity themselves. Oh, god damn it, really? It's a small petty grossness, but they are just so pleased with themselves that they have a socially acceptable way to deny me one mote of dignity. It's embarrassingly childish behavior. It's truly incredible how this guy cares about bullying more than anything else. For real, imagine being such a petty little brat. Like, I call you by your full legal name. I know your name. You do not. Oh, wait. Yeah, exactly. That's what you sound like, Andrew. NDA is isolation. Andrew relies extremely heavily on social isolation tactic, especially coercion isolation by using threats of legal violence. You ate like 20 minutes ago. I saw Rebecca give it to you. A common tool for these NDA agreements, which are designed to be overbroad and punitive, they demand that association with Homestuck, including when they require you associate with them, be contingent on NDAs. These NDAs cover all conversation, which is used to cut off lines of communication victims can use to report abuse or even discuss issues with their peers. Quoted directly from the Hiku contract, again, not the one I signed. Yeah, we're gonna ignore this stuff, we get it. All information is deemed confidential information. And yeah, there's the what the fuck. Yeah, exactly, what the fuck. You agree that any violation or threat in violation of this agreement will cause irreparable injury to the union. Yeah, basically say whatever you... This is why we should not let people just craft whatever they want in a document. Like, you should not be allowed to do this. I have confirmed with my legal counsel that this is not remotely standard language for an NDA. It is designed to intimidate and lock signatories into a coercive, punitive situation. Andrew relies on an ability to abuse NDAs, including by intentionally misrepresenting situations to people with the confidence that people who know the truth will be enabled to correct them. I don't say that as a hypothetical way someone could interpret this language. I'm reporting that as something I've personally seen Homestuck use that exact language to do. What Andrew wants is the ability to get whatever they want whenever they want it, and this environment gets them that. The only source for remedy is to go through Andrew themselves and have them find the grace to give you what you ask for. It's an abuser playground. Yes, that's just evil. But the event without the legal stranglehold of an NDA, Andrew uses traditional social isolation as a control tactic. Skipping ahead in the timeline, in January of this year, I was scheduled to publish my first game on Steam, a collaboration with several other Homestuck fans. Less than a week away from the launch date, Homestuck intervened as personal retaliation against me. They reached out to other members of the team privately and threatened legal action against them if they continued associating themselves with me. This was paired, as far as I can tell, with some set of accusation about me. They said NDA language prevented them from justifying. The play worked. Homestuck cut me off from people I considered good friends, and the whole project was a loss. Oh, fuck, really? I'm still heartbroken and angry from this, not because of the game, but because of the relationship I had with other people that they attacked. God damn it, that is evil. That is straight up evil. That is one very big tactic that abusive people do. They basically try to keep you as isolated as possible so you don't have anyone to help you see the patterns and to help you defend yourself, so you're as powerless as you can. But they do that. They were willing to do it to me. I've seen them do it to others, and it seems like they're willing to do it regularly. Isolate an enemy and make them even more dependent on getting your personal favor, with a social ostracization as a weapon to retaliate if they don't. Statement demand, August 2034. So now, starting in June 2024, I'm in a room with Miles and James, but no Andrew and no lawyers. Wow, what a twist for once. There's a very Trump handshake aspect to all this. Yeah, I thought about a Trump, but I didn't make anything out of it. With the NDA side, we can finally get these things moving. I can have that interview with Andrew that was promised a year ago. Fuck. We'll put together a license that covers the kind of project Homestuck wants to work on, and then it's smooth sailing. The reader, that is not what happened. Oh, really? Oh, you fucked up here, buddy. Oh, no, it's DMs. All right. Miles. So, the next stage of all of this, basically, that before moving on to getting the license squared away, Andrew wants to work on what's referred to here as a settlement. At any rate, in the meantime, I'm just gonna summarize where we've been looking to go in terms of next steps to lay the groundwork for working with the unofficial collection. Andrew wants to reach a settlement that includes a retraction/rewrite. The explicit details of this have yet to be hashed out and will probably be worked on the coming week. But it's something Andrew has made very clear he needs to see happen in some shape or form. Not that the write/retraction itself doesn't have to happen right now, or even necessarily before we get to work on the unofficial collection stuff, but agreeing to do it with the settlement is something Andrew needs to see first. But you gotta work with us, man. The alternative is that if Andrew feels much more stalled, let's see. I haven't been spending much time on time span and date gaps, but it's flatly untrue that I've stalled anything or even been unresponsive. Perhaps there's a feeling of not making progress left over from the deadlock which they caused themselves. An example of Don't Make Me Hit You, which we're gonna see here. The alternative is that, if it feels more stalled, he's just going to switch gears, have the unofficial collection taken down, replace it, and sue. The whole point of the settlements is so he doesn't have to do any of this, because none of it is desirable, and we don't want to waste our time or energy on it when we could instead be making productive strides together. Another example of using the creation of the collection fork as a threat designed to punish rather than something they're willing to maintain. Sadly. In general. Always Miles. All of September, so like a week later. What I need to establish now, before this conversation goes any further, is that I think I've been pretty light in my rhetoric for the most part. But in some cases when I needed to try and hustle Bambush and or you along. But from today, but for today, I have to be really, really clear. Right now, the only thing we're interested in talking about is the settlement and why it's necessary. Full stop. Before we consider doing literally anything else with you, I'm not gonna drop a point I already made you a few days ago, but but so but just to recenter the conversation around this, we came to you guys 10 months ago to open a collaboration. The face you guys publish it with no license, and we got you to put so just run off for nearly a year. And now I'm trying to do Trump. I'm too tired to do Trump, honestly. Sorry, fellas. Yeah, basically any work that you want to do, yes, but you gotta do the work that we want to do. Otherwise, we're gonna sue you. Hossack quickly moves from we aren't trying to do threats to actually they have demands and retaliation ready if their demands aren't met. This yields a series of demands from Andrew. The complaint in these demands has nothing to do with an official collection, but it is instead rehashed hive swap whining. Before anything else can happen, I need to do whatever it takes to repair my relationship, and their first idea of how I can start to do this is releasing a public statement of confession. And you didn't do it. I, as the wretched sinner, must supplicate myself before Andrew, the righteous God King of Homestuck, and confess my sins so I might be granted a tenuous stay in their glorious kingdom. This is not the license discussion. In fact, it has been explicitly injected before the license discussion as a newly announced prerequisite. Despite this being the stage of the scheduled interview, Andrew simply refuses to show up. Communication is still truly copy-paste text dumps and occasional PDFs. It's not a surprise, but it's yet another breach of agreement. It's just Andrew being an asshole. Petty bitch. Miles. What I want to get into today is more of the nitty-gritty of why it is we feel it's necessary from a more human point of view to be more direct. What I mean by this is today and in subsequent discussion until you show us that you understand the necessity of this. I want to talk about why it is that we're getting to the point where the options here are either settlements or lawsuit. There was a real human cost the way things went down a couple of years ago, to say nothing of the damage was done to Homestuck and Hive. But buddy, you're just repeating yourself. To be clear, Andrew involved went down really nasty to Homestuck and Hive teams. You just fucked. Just release a statement. Don't make him release a statement. If you think this is the real stuff, just do a statement. As details in the PDF I just sent you, and as I previously mentioned, real damage was done not only to Homestuck and Hiveswap as production brands, however you want to look at it, but there was a huge storm of harassment and outright abuse of many staff members that was like fucking unacceptable. Number 21, let's check. This is flatly untrue. The documents don't detail any damage done to the brand and don't explain any amount of harassment. At best, Andrew asserts it's the case without explaining how. Without trying to hold you 100% accountable for all the bad shit that went down back then, yeah, because you're accountable. You're the one that didn't make the game. But we're also not about to pretend that your block wasn't a contributing factor to some significance that, among other things, legitimizes Sarah and Emily's video in the eyes of a bunch of rabid shitheads who weren't interested as much in accountability or whatever the fuck Reddit shit is that they say that we're in the dog pilot. Yeah, you're basically just saying, oh, well, it's me, I did release a shitty project, a really shitty thing, and tried to sue a person, and then now people are calling out on my bullshit, and now I'm sad, oh, woe is me. Maybe make a good product, they'll steal $2.5 million, and deliver before Tommy Fox releases chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8, maybe. But I digress. Fucking Yandere Dev is making more work than you. Probably fucking Pirate Software did more work than you. All this preamble to say that really, before we do anything at all, we need to get a real indication from you that it's something that you understand, something you're willing to show remorse, and something you're willing to concretely commit to amending with us. If we're going to collaborate at all, there has to be some kind of trust built here. The only way that it's going to happen is for you to address this shit personally. We're not interested in dancing around this any longer. you're you're a piece of shit. The fact that it even is a Homestuck collection is all but forgotten. The only thing that matters is that Andrew feels owed for the consequence of my old writing. This is about the fact that they consider me personally to be a problem. Yeah, something that they knew from the start. They have not bothered at any point to contact me about any of this. But now they're in a room together, and they hope that maybe if they corner me and threaten me with big enough gun, I'll be able to unhurt their feelings. That they don't want to be unhurt their feelings. They just want you to say that they just want you to bow your head. That's it. I was always concerned that they would leverage copyrights as an excuse for retaliation over my past writing. What I truly did not expect is that it would be completely blatant. We have spelled it out in writing quid pro quo retaliation. Andrew doesn't even mention copyright here. That's clearly not what they care about. It's just a weapon to be brought up later if I'm not subservient enough. Yeah. The consistent thing about this sophistry is that they can't point to anything objectionable I've ever done. The best excuse they can make is that other people were bad to them in a way they don't explain either. The options are not settlement or lawsuit. There is no hype swap business that requires any settlements. There is no new offense that would create grounds to sue. They're just loud and angry. Oh look, definition of Trump yet again. All by pushing towards collaboration on the project that Andrew said they wanted to collaborate on has been ignored in favor of this show of dominance, song and dance. Yeah, exactly. Fundamentally, what matters more to Andrew than anything else, and it's disgusting. I hesitate to even go into the demands themselves because they fundamentally doesn't matter. It's all nonsense implemented with the now expected meandering, threading pages of Andrew's sophistry and give it a line by line inspection to give it unearned dignity. The demand that I satisfy Andrew's personal grievances is inappropriate in and of itself. It's an attack. It's breaking a truce. It's a breach of agreement. It is most importantly an insistence on asserting dominance and creating a clear hierarchical relationship. Can you guys see the cat now? Yeah, there he is. He's hungry again. He only ate 4 times since the start of the stream. Earlier, I talked about what I looked like when I was trying to work constructively with someone I had a disagreement with. A big part of that is making sure not to predicate anything on balancing the books, since that's a surefire way to turn this into foolish attempts to pin the other person to the ground. So no refusing to speak to each other until our anger is satisfied, no coming into the room angry at all. There's no way to proceed down that road and everyone will still emerge happy. I graciously agreed to set aside my disagreement and work with someone I had major outstanding criticism of. We could work together for mutual benefit, but that was it. Also, wouldn't that be based from Hussie to just say, hey, you've been very critical of me. Work for me. I'm gonna pay you. I can't do this work. You're good. We don't see eye to eye. Give you money. You give me the product. I put your name on it. You can say whatever you want. You can say you be more than open, saying, yeah, I don't like this person. I still worked for them. Nothing else to say. Just professional, period. But now you have to make a story about it. In contrast, what we have here is a demand that I prostrate myself before my master and beg their forgiveness before any kind of working relationship could be considered, as if he were a god too holy for a mere sinner to approach without first finding a way to satisfy their demand for punitive for justice, which, compared to my willingness to work together despite past conflicts, is a really solid example of not doing that. Good faith cannot coexist with this threatening and demanding behavior. If the first word out of my mouth were, sure, I'll work for you for 2,485,506, I know it is. I know it is. I knew it. I knew it. I just wanted to show you. Fucking based. Or, sure, but you have to release a statement apologizing for the MSPA forums first, or even, sure, but first you have to publicly apologize for the death threats you're indirectly responsible of, that you put me on, that you put me in the wrong. That'd be me being aggressive and bringing unofficial Homestuck collection topics, and appropriately into a scoped space. We were here to collaborate, not explicitly map some sort of Petersonian dominance hierarchy. But it would have been funny. It would have been so funny. I would not be able to be not this petty. I would have put I'll work for you for 2 million, for 2.5 million. I would have done it. I would have done it. I'm sorry. I'm not a better man than you are. Andrew really agreed to work with me. Now some alternative version of me who thinks Andrew doing nothing wrong they imagine could exist if they banned me hard enough. So, this is all a demand for dominance. Andrew is to be the alpha and my job is to be satisfying their desires. The goal here is to manufacture this false relationship. That and that alone marks this as another collapse of trust and pushes the relationship into aggression instead of cooperation. Satisfy our grudge or we'll sting you with your really big scorpion tail. Why did I become Turtle? Perhaps one day I'll do a deep dive into these documents. Please do, please do, please do, please do, please do, please, 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 I beg you, I beg you, I beg you, do it, do it. I'm gonna say it, I'm not gonna stream them. I just want to see. I just want to know. I want to know all the drama about Homestuck itself. Just want to know how much far away I have to stay from Hussie, which is about the length of the word. Reversing victim and offender. First is a desperate, insistent reversal of victim and offender. Foundational to every point, Andrew argues is the assumption that they are infallible, and all negative consequences in my life. Jesus Christ, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. There's still this much? Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do everything tonight. Alright, where were we? Yeah, reversing victim and offender. So yeah, we're gonna continue tomorrow. Reversing victim and offender. We're gonna continue here tomorrow. I'm way too tired for this shit, man. It is such a long read, Jesus Christ. Fellas, we're gonna see each other tomorrow. We're gonna continue this train wreck. I did not think it was gonna be this long. I thought it was gonna be long, but not this long. 4 hours and we're halfway through. Man. Anyway. Take care, fellas. And until tomorrow. Again, take care. I don't know, man. I'm tired. Let me go to sleep.